is Nationwide 90 FM, owned and operated by Nationwide News Network. We broadcast from our studios at 6 Bradley Avenue, Kingston 10, Jamaica. Transmitting on the FM 90 band. 90.3 from Peters Rock in St. Andrew and Murphy Hill in St. Anne. Serving Kingston and St. Andrew, St. Catherine, St. Anne, parts of Clarendon, St. Mary, and St. Thomas. 90.5 from Huntley in Manchester, transmitting to St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, Manchester, Clarendon, rural St. Andrew, and parts of St. Thomas. And 90.7 from Cooper's Hill in St. Andrew and Flower Hill in St. James, serving Westmoreland, Hanover, St. James, sections of Trelawney, Kingston, St. Catherine, Clarendon, St. Mary, Portland, and St. Anne. Nationwide 90 FM also broadcasts on the World Wide Web on nationwideradiojm.com and on Flow on channel 916. Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media. You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
6 o'clock.
From the studios of Nationwide Radio, morning radio the right way. It's Nationwide This Morning.
A very good morning to you. I'm Tona Thomas. Coming up in the news at 6 for this morning, Tuesday, January 14, 2025. The PNP labels as spurious former Central Kingston caretaker's allegations relating to monetary offers in exchange for his resignation. Government of Jamaica reopens 3 local bonds valued at $22 billion. Victoria Jubilee Hospital refutes social media claims of poor patient care and resource shortages at the facility. In regional news, TNT Prime Minister says police officers are closing stations to hide from criminals. In international news, U.S. Department of Justice says Trump would have been convicted if not elected. In sports, Reggae Boys to take on TNT in 2 friendlies set for February. And in business, NCB announces termination of sales agreement for NCB Cayman Limited. The details after the break.
Are you ready to turn your sales and marketing skills into high earnings? Nationwide 90 FM is searching for business development executives to help us grow our business and build lasting client relationships. If you have experience across all stages of the sales cycle and possess strong communication, negotiation, and time management skills with a proven sales track record, this opportunity is perfect for you. Join our team and work with the top corporate brands, media agencies, and of course, our on-air personalities. Enjoy networking opportunities, professional growth, and competitive commissions. Ready to take the next step? Send your resume to hr@nationwidenewsnetwork.com today.
Catch the first news of the day. A comprehensive package of local, international, sports, and business news. The news at 6 on Nationwide 90 FM.
Now to the details. The opposition PNP has dismissed as spurious extraordinary claims made by its former caretaker in Central Kingston, Lawrence Rowe. Rowe claims that in exchange for accepting the PNP's decision without showing dissent, PNP President Mark Golding promised him an appointment as a government senator, appointment to the board of a housing agency, and $15 million in resources. Rowe made the claims in a post on Facebook last Saturday. But in response on Monday evening, over 48 hours later, the PNP rejected the claims as spurious. The PNP says while such claims may spark political intrigue for some, they contradict the party's long-standing policies and practices. It says the party remains focused on upholding the principles of transparency and good governance. The PNP says the matter will be addressed at a time convenient to the party. The PNP ended its statement by encouraging the public and media to focus on the party's continued efforts to serve the people of Central Kingston with integrity and dedication. Former Senior Superintendent of Police Steve McGregor has since been announced as the PNP's new caretaker in Central Kingston. The government of Jamaica has reopened 3 local bonds valued at $22 billion with varied maturation dates. maturation dates. That's according to notices issued by the Bank of Jamaica last Friday. It's uncertain the purpose of the instruments at this time. Norgay Banton tells us more.
The smallest of the bonds, valued at $6 billion, will mature over a 3-year and 2-month period. Half-yearly interest payments will begin on March 21, 2025. The payments will be subject to a 10% per annum fixed interest rate. The final maturity date is March 28, 2028, with a minimum bid amount of $1,000. The $7 billion offering will mature in March 2037 with a similar half-yearly interest rate scheme at 10% per annum. The largest of the bonds at $9 billion has the longest maturation date set at December 2050. It also has slightly better half-yearly interest rate payments at 12.25% per annum. All 3 bonds have subscription dates beginning on the 15th of January. The settlement dates are set on the 17th of January. Efforts to get a comment from Finance Minister Favour Williams were unsuccessful. However, financial analyst and chartered accountant Dennis Chung believes the funds will most likely be used to retire other instruments or convert expensive foreign-denominated bonds into local currency.
The reasons could be that they could be using it to pay off some other retiring instruments that they have out there. I don't think that they would be issuing it to mop up liquidity that's out there at a time when they're reducing interest rates, and the primary purpose of reducing interest rates is to create liquidity in the market. So that doesn't seem like it. So maybe it is that they are going to be using it to either convert bonds from one currency to another, or they're going to be retiring bonds. That's maybe the most likely thing.
Norgay Banton for Nationwide News.
Works Minister Robert Morgan says the opposition leader Mark Golding is playing politics through his criticism of the government's $45 billion road rehabilitation program, SPARK. Work on the SPARK began last December. Golding says major projects like SPARK provide a chance for the Holness administration and its enablers to bleed the public purse. Morgan says such a claim is false.
The SPARK program wasn't announced. No, it was announced actually 2 budgets ago. I wish that SPARK had started last year. The leader of the opposition in his criticism is really not criticizing me or the Prime Minister, because the Prime Minister and I only announce policy. We do not pay anybody. We are not engineers. There's an entire procurement unit at the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, and there's one also at the National Works Agency. There's a group of people called the Public Procurement Commission, which has persons from the private sector and the public sector. There are engineers and contractors who are members of the Master Builder Association who participate in these programs, who bid for their contracts publicly through the papers, and who win their contracts and do their work, and the work is validated and they are paid.
Minister Morgan says the opposition leader is seeking attention in his bid for power.
When the leader of the opposition says that these projects are created so we and our cronies can scrape, who are the cronies? Is he saying that the public sector workers are the cronies? Is it the Public Procurement Commission that are the cronies? Is it the engineers are the cronies? Is it the grade 1, grade 2 contractors? Some of them have been non-aligned to any political party. Some have been aligned to political parties. Some are agnostic to politics. Are they the cronies? And that's the problem with a scorched earth approach to politics, where because you're so desperate for power, you will even throw out the baby with the bath water. You don't care about anyone's integrity. You don't care about anyone's reputation. You just want to win. So whatever you can say or do to cause you to be in power, as Mr. Pickersgill said, you will do it.
Robert Morgan, Works Minister. He was speaking on Nationwide at 5 on Monday. Senior Medical Officer at the Victoria Jubilee Hospital, Dr. Garth MacDonald, is refuting recent claims circulating on social media alleging poor patient care and resource shortages at the facility. In a statement on Monday, the hospital says the allegations circulating on Instagram suggested that a female patient admitted to the labor ward faced significant delays due to a lack of available beds and medical assistance. Dr. McDonald says the reports are false and misleading.
It is unfortunate when statements are made that are sometimes blatantly untrue, that reflect poorly on the care which we deliver here. We are committed to the improvement in terms of aesthetics, infrastructure, care and customer service. It may not always be ideal, but the work is ongoing and our commitment continues. We are happy that the delivery was safe, mother and baby are safe, and we continue to offer the best care possible based on our current circumstances.
Dr. McDonald says at no point during the woman's stay at the hospital was the labor ward full or experiencing any bed-related issues. He says that upon her arrival at the hospital, she was assessed as being 8 centimeters dilated and in active labor. A healthcare worker reportedly attended to her, and she was given the option to use a recliner or return to the examination bed while her bed was being prepared, a process that reportedly took less than 10 minutes. The woman and her baby were discharged the following day after her delivery without complications. Dr. McDonald notes that the hospital successfully delivered 10 babies that night without incident. The hospital management is urging the public to refrain from spreading false information and to use appropriate channels for concerns or complaints.
It would also be great for all the persons who have had positive interactions with the hospital, have had good deliveries, have had successful surgeries, to also go on social media and publicize what exactly takes place at Victoria Jubilee Hospital, so the women of Jamaica can have the confidence in their hospital. Victoria Jubilee Hospital, the birthplace of the nation.
And Dr. Garth McDonald, Senior Medical Officer at the Victoria Jubilee Hospital. The Ministry of Education has launched an investigation into a recent incident in which students from McGrath High School in Linstead St. Catherine were barred entry to the institution due to a grooming policy infraction. The matter came to public attention last week after a video started circulating on social media.
Please come over McGrath because my ear is my nationality and it's for significance in me so I can go in the school. They don't want me to.
They tell me for trim.
They tell me for trim. They don't want we go in our school because our ear is our nationality. Ministry of Education, I beg you please. See McGrath, yeah? Come over at school. I mean, I make it as no joke. I swear to God, I swear. Come over, look how much shoot out here. Walk out school and can't go. Our ear.
The ministry in a statement on Monday says it's reviewing preliminary data from ongoing assessments. According to the ministry, a preliminary report from the school stated that a male student arrived late and was cautioned about both his tardiness and his haircut, which did not comply with the school's regulations. Despite being instructed to stay in a designated area while his parents were contacted, the student reportedly left the school compound. Efforts by the principal to direct the student and others back inside were met with non-compliance. The ministry says it has been assessing the issues through its regional office and will be meeting with the student, his parents, the principal, and other involved parties to discuss the situation. These meetings are part of efforts by the ministry to ensure that all stakeholders are adhering to the established protocols, while also prioritizing the educational needs and well-being of the students involved. Chief Education Officer Tarian Thomas Gale says the ministry doesn't take incidents like this lightly. She says while the ministry is committed to upholding school policies, they must ensure that all actions are carried out in a manner that respects the rights and dignity of both student and staff. The ministry says it's working closely with McGrath High School and all involved parties to address the matter and ensure that proper procedures are followed moving forward. Now, the Ministry of Education says it is dispatching its regional team of guidance counselors and grief support services to Pear Tree Grove Primary and Infant School in St. Mary following the murder of one of its teachers. The slain teacher is identified as Angela Hamilton. According to reports, Ms. Hamilton was last seen leaving school on Friday at approximately 4:30 p.m. However, repeated calls to her phone went unanswered. Ms. Hamilton's lifeless body was discovered at her home on Saturday. There were no signs of foul play. The police have since launched an investigation. Education Minister Senator Dr. Dana Morse Dixon has condemned Ms. Hamilton's death. She described the primary school teacher as a committed educator who was a beacon of guidance and support to her students. Senator Morse Dixon says resources will be available to provide emotional support to staff and students. Commanding Officer for the St. Elizabeth Police, Superintendent Coleridge Minto, says the division will work hard to keep major crimes in the parish on a downward trend. The parish recorded a 20% decline in murders in 2024.
Last year, we ended the year with 29% reduction in major crime, with murders reduced by 20%. Whilst this achievement is noted, the St. Elizabeth Police will continue to augment our strategies to ensure that major crimes continue on the downward trend. For 2024, the total number of seizure of ammunition was 1,313, which represents a 374% increase over the previous year.
Superintendent Coleridge Minto, commanding officer for the St. Elizabeth Police. He was speaking at the recently held St. Elizabeth Municipal Corporation meeting. According to the latest JCF crime report, there has been a single murder in St. Elizabeth so far this year. Meanwhile, the figure recorded across the country in the first 11 days of the year is 34. The Ministry of National Security is refuting reports that the motor vehicle e-ticketing system is experiencing technical issues. This is in response to two recent media reports highlighting discrepancies in the system. In a statement on Monday, the ministry says it's understandable that the two cases identified in the reports have increased public concern. However, it is expressing confidence in the system. Shalois Michael reports.
According to the Ministry of National Security, the discrepancies highlighted by the media reports are related to procedural error. It adds that it's noteworthy that all the tickets in question were issued by the same officer within the same area and during a similar time period. The ministry says as part of this ongoing investigation, the JCF is reviewing other tickets issued by the concerned officer to identify any additional anomalies or unresolved cases. According to the ministry, this proactive approach underscores its and the JCF's commitment to transparency and accountability. It notes that of the 306,000 traffic tickets issued via the system in 2023, only 2 errors of this nature have surfaced to date, representing significantly less than 0.1% of this type of error. Still, the ministry says it's working to devise additional system-related mechanisms and training in order to reduce the likelihood of any kind of error on the part of the issuing officers. The ministry says since its introduction in 2023, the e-ticketing system has been a transformative tool for traffic enforcement and public safety in Jamaica. In 2024 alone, more than 580,000 tickets were issued through the system, reflecting enhanced efficiency and accuracy. The National Security Ministry adds that measures are being taken to address any gaps in training and usage of the e-ticketing system to prevent the recurrence of such incidents. Shalois Michael for Nationwide News.
And that's it for the local segment of the news. Up next, regional and international.
Yo, babes, me there Popeyes with the hottest thing.
Wait, where's the little while?
And the new Popeyes wings, signature hot flavor, just touched down with the pepper turn up. Try it if you're brave.
Well, make sure you bring a 12, no, a 30-piece signature hot filling.
Shh, you up, break up. Where you sell it a while?
Same, so we do it.
Brave up and try the brand new Popeyes wings, signature hot. More wings, more flavor.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
In regional and international news this morning, regional news, Trinidad and Tobago's Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley says some police personnel are now pretending to close stations to hide from criminals. He made the comment in Parliament on Monday during the debate on the rationale for the state of emergency SOE currently in force in the country. The Parliament also debated a motion for a 3-month extension of the SOE. According to Guardian Media, Prime Minister Rowley said criminals had become so brazen that they believe they can without fear shoot and kill even the police. The SOE was declared on December 30, 2024 for an initial period of 15 days. International President-elect Donald Trump would have been convicted of illegally trying to overturn the result of the 2020 presidential election, which he lost, if he had not successfully been re-elected in 2024. This is according to the man who led U.S. government investigations into Trump. Special counsel Jack Smith wrote in a partially released report, the evidence against Trump was sufficient to obtain and sustain a conviction at trial. But according to reporting from the BBC, Trump hit back, saying Smith was deranged and his findings were fake. Trump was accused of pressurizing officials to reverse the 2020 result, knowingly spreading lies about election fraud, and seeking to exploit the riot at the U.S. Capitol on January 6, 2021. He denied any wrongdoing. And that's it for regional and international. Up next, sports.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies including plugs, switches, panel boards and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
If them a hide and a bribe, you know we not sleep. Extortion them want, you know that not keep. Fight against corruption, turn up the heat. Load up the kickback and fraud when you see it. Anti-corruption, join in the fight. Let's come together and make this right. When you see wrong, you feel open your mouth. Now there's a new avenue for speak out. We need a reduction. Make we fight against corruption.
The Integrity Commission is working towards Jamaica, where there's integrity, accountability, and transparency in public service, where acts of corruption by persons in public office will be investigated and dealt with transparency and accountability. Stand with us in the fight against corruption. Call the Integrity Commission Anti-Corruption Hotline 876-926-0001.
Make we fight against corruption.
Time now for your morning sports report. The Jamaica Football Federation has confirmed that the Reggae Boys will entertain Trinidad and Tobago in 2 friendlies on February 6 and 9. The match on February 6 will be played at the Montego Bay Sports Complex at 7:30 p.m., while the fixture on February 9 is set for the Anthony Spalding Sports Complex at 8 p.m. Both countries will use the games to prepare for the preliminary round of the CONCACAF Gold Cup, which is slated for March. Jamaica will face St. Vincent and the Grenadines for a spot in the group stages of the Gold Cup, while Trinidad and Tobago will face Cuba. Action in the English Premier League resumes later on Tuesday, with the leaders Liverpool travelling to Nottingham Forest, seeking revenge against the only team to have beaten them thus far this season. In other fixtures, Brentford welcome Manchester City, Chelsea are at home to Bournemouth, and West Ham entertain Fulham. The West Indies will now turn their attention to the two-test series against Pakistan, following their drawn 3-day practice match against the Shaheen 11 on Sunday. The Windies made a 346 for 8 declared in the first innings and 177 for 5 declared in the second, while the bowlers took 11 wickets in 2 overs. Vice-captain of the West Indies, Joshua Da Silva, says the players benefited from time in the middle.
Time in the middle is exceptional for the boys who did, and some boys didn't, which is expected. Well, not expected, but it happens. It's cricket. Not everybody's going to have the best game every time. If it was, we'll win everything. So for us, it's just about taking those learning experiences and going back in the nets in the next couple of days and getting ready for the test in Malta.
Da Silva says it's all about rest and recovery ahead of the first test.
A good rest day. We have to travel tomorrow, our flight, so it's some rest after that. And then, prepare for the 2 days after that for the test series. Probably one hard session and then a light one before the test series.
Joshua Da Silva. Zondre Rowe and Ryan Liu are in Argentina, where they will represent Jamaica at the 10th Latin America Amateur Golf Championship at the Pilar Golf Club at Buenos Aires from January 16 to 19. This is Roy's second time at the championship, while Liu will be making his debut. Roy is the reigning national champion, while Liu is one of the country's best juniors. Jamaica's best placement at the championship is 24th, registered by Ian Facey back in 2015. There are 28 countries and over 100 golfers in the championship this year, with players from Barbados, Bermuda, Puerto Rico, the Cayman Islands, and Trinidad and Tobago. And that's it for your morning sports.
Are you ready to turn your sales and marketing skills into high earnings? Nationwide 90 FM is searching for business development executives to help us grow our business and build lasting client relationships. If you have experience across all stages of the sales cycle and possess strong communication, negotiation, and time management skills with a proven sales track record, this opportunity is perfect for you. Join our team and work with the top corporate brands, media agencies, and of course, our on-air personalities. Enjoy networking opportunities, professional growth, and competitive commissions. Ready to take the next step? Send your resume to hr@nationwidenewsnetwork.com today.
In business this morning, the principals of one of the country's oldest investment firms, Berita, are confident in the country's fiscal stability despite increasing anxiety as the country heads into a general election. Chief Executive Officer Designate of Berita Financial Holding Company, Dane Broadber, says he expects that whichever party wins the impending election will continue to abide by the fiscal guidelines.
In terms of the change of leadership from a general election standpoint, I think we've kind of evolved to a state now where there is fairly good harmony in terms of the policy, particularly economic policies, more broad economic policies of the two political parties. So in terms of what we expect from that standpoint, and there's general consensus between political parties and within the private sector in terms of the general direction, not as a result of any potential change in leadership.
Dane Broadber, CEO Designate of Berita Financial Holding Company. His views were shared by Berita CEO Raman Small Ferguson.
The fact is that fiscal policy is, I'd say, entrenched at this point in time. You're aware that we would have, coming out of the throes of the last IMF program, instituted a fiscal rule of law that has been complemented by the imposition of serious independent oversight with respect to fiscal matters. The Fiscal Council is now up and running. So against that backdrop, there is, in my mind, little risk that even a change in leadership would result in a derailing of the state of play as it relates to the fiscal situation.
Ramon Small Ferguson, Barita's chief executive officer. Both men were speaking in an interview with Nationwide News on Monday. National Commercial Bank Jamaica Limited, NCBJ, has announced the termination of the agreement previously executed with Berkeley Financial Holdings Limited for the sale of NCBJ's wholly owned subsidiary, NCB Cayman Limited. In a release, investors published by NCBJ's parent company, NCB Financial Group Limited, it was noted that the termination of the sale agreement arose as the transaction had not reached completion within the time agreed and in the specific manner contemplated by the parties. It says NCB Cayman therefore remains wholly owned by NCBJ and maintains its focus on providing enhanced services to its clientele. CEO of NCBJ, Bruce Bowen, says their focus remains on identifying and pursuing opportunities that align with the overarching objectives of the business. In the meantime, he says NCB Cayman will continue to be a key component of their operations, playing an important role in delivering value to their clients and stakeholders. NCB Cayman is a commercial bank domiciled in the Cayman Islands, which operates under a Class A license from the Cayman Islands Monetary Authority, offering an array of investment banking, wealth, and asset management to its customers. Scotia Jamaica has announced the resignation of Executive Vice President of Retail and Small Business Banking and Acting Head of Retail Caribbean and Central America, Perrin Gale. His resignation takes effect on January 24, 2025. Gale joined the organization in 2012. He held progressively senior roles in both Trinidad and Tobago and Jamaica. Scotia says during his tenure, Gale made a very strong contribution to the team, and they wish him well. Upon Gale's departure, Yvette Anderson, the current Director of Customer Experience and Advocacy, will support the business and as acting head of retail and small business for Caribbean North and Central. Finally, now in foreign exchange trading, the Jamaican dollar has gained 26 cents and will open trading today, selling for an average $156.95 against the benchmark U.S. dollar. The Jamaican dollar has gained 43 cents and will open trading today, selling for an average $109.57 against the Canadian. And finally, the Jamaican has also gained $5.41 and will open trading this morning, selling for an average $189.66 against the British pound. That's it for business this morning.
Clearing personal, non-commercial shipments at the port? Avoid the wait. Request a contactless clearance through your agent today. It's more efficient. It's secure. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is
6:32.
Upgrade your home or business with Cameron Industries and Joinery Limited. Explore a range of termite-resistant plywood, quartz, solid surface, and granite. Experience timeless elegance with our cedar doors, crafted from premium cedar stock, kiln-dried for durability and beauty. For quality and craftsmanship, visit us at the Trade Center Kingston 10 or Hatfield Mandeville. Call 876-963-0628-30. Cameron Industries and Joinery Limited. Transform your space today.
Excelsior Class Students Association Network of Champions cordially invites you to our 94th Annual Founders Day, Sunday, January 19th, 2025, under the theme, Honoring Our Legacy, Building Our Future. Church service commences at 9 a.m. in the auditorium, located at 137 Mountain View Avenue. Guest speaker, Bishop Dr. Marcel R. Fullwood, class of 1983, Partners Worship Center, Canada. Following the service, join us for brunch and entertainment at 11 a.m. in the auditorium. Entertainment by Harold Davis, Prilly Hamilton, Akeith Nugent, and Shanika Jeffrey. Contributions only $5,000. For further info, call us at 876-898-8294 or email xlcrpsasecretariat@yahoo.com. Don't you miss it.
No New Year's Day to celebrate. No chocolate covered candy hearts to give away. No first of spring, no song to sing. In fact, here's just another no April rain, no flowers bloom, no wedding Saturday within the month of June. But what it is something true, made up of these three words that I say to you. I just called to say I love you. I just called to say how much I care. I just called to say I love you. And I mean it from the bottom of my heart. No summer's high, no warm July, no harvest moon to light one tender August night. No autumn breeze, no falling leaves, not even time for birds to fly to southern skies. No Libra sun, no Halloween, no giving thanks to all the Christmas joy you bring. But what it is, so oh, so new, to fill your heart like no three words could ever do. I just called to say I love you. I just called to say how much I care. I do. I just called to say I love you, and I mean it from the bottom of my.
Good morning to you. You are tuned in to Nationwide this morning. NTM, The Big Show. Thank you so much for coming on over and joining us this Tuesday morning. It is a Tuesday. I almost said February 14. It's not Valentine's
Stevie Wonder
Day.
effect. Stevie Wonder effect.
January 14, 2025. Happy to have all of you joining us on the Nationwide 90 FM Live 2 YouTube channel. Hello to all of you out there in Radio Land as well. I'm Tona Thomas.
And I'm George. Morning, Tona.
Hey to you, George. So, George, right into it because I'm looking at the clock, not a lot of time left. On my mind this morning, of course, is what is on a lot of people's minds, the Lawrence Rowe matter. Now, here's the thing. A man or a woman is in an organization, George. A position opens and you have put yourself forward for the spot. A part of the process is that a selection is supposed to happen. It's supposed to go to a vote if you're supposed to be in this position. You come out ahead of your other colleagues in that organization. The board has a unit, though, who is supposed to do a background check or whatnot on you. The unit comes back and says, well, this person is not fit and proper, But the chairman looks beyond those findings or that finding and gives you the job. You've been in the role, you're working, you're building team spirit, you're expending resources and all that good stuff. And you're doing this for well over a year. And then in about a month, to some, the rug is basically pulled from under your feet. And I say that to say, a lot of people this morning perhaps can identify with what Lawrence Rowe has presented as his experience, as his case to the public. He won a selection contest, 2023. The Integrity Committee of the PNP said he was not fit and proper to be the party's standard bearer in Central Kingston. But for the reasons best known to his president, Mark Golding, because we don't know those reasons yet as to why he went beyond the Integrity Committee or disregarded what they were saying and still said, hey, Lawrence, go ahead. You're going to be the standard bearer in Kingston Central. That was 2023. The gentleman, who is from the area, intensified his work of building connections with the people there and expending his resources in that effort. And with December 2024 approaching, like any caretaker, he may have believed he was one of the settled ones who at the start of the new year, 2025, would be kicking into another gear because of general election time. No. But only to be told that soundings on the ground from influential comrades, we don't know how many, if it's 5, 2, 1, or many, many influential comrades, have indicated, nah, he's not the man for the job. He can't unify the party machinery in the area. And according to Mr. Golding, to make matters worse, Rowe removed his windows and doors from the constituency office, reinforcing the point from the Integrity Committee that they tell him before, say, listen, he's not fit and proper to be caretaker in the first place. Two things. Who feels it knows it, George? As a clearly aggrieved caretaker, the gentleman is taking back any tangibles that he can take back to demonstrate perhaps that, hey, I'm upset. It's simply showing that when I deal with me right, so watch that style, yeah. Yeah. And number two, I question why the PNP president had disregarded in the first place that fit and proper assessment of his Integrity Committee and gone with Rowe in 2023. Also, Rowe seems to believe he wasn't getting the support necessary to boost his capacity in the area. And is this so, and why? Now, the matter of his removal has been clouded in further controversy due to Rowe's itemized post on Facebook, where he details a timeline of events relating to the efforts to have him withdraw. The major table talk from this has been the alleged offers Rowe claims the party made to have him step aside, an appointment to the Senate, membership to the board of a housing agency, along with what you call it, 15 big ones, $15 million in resources. Now, overnight, the party has issued, I believe it's a 5-sentence statement responding to Rowe's claims that have been reported by the media and circulated all over. To my mind, George and listeners, I don't think the statement goes far enough. I was hoping a statement like this would lay out the issues and address them one by one. As party president, Mark Golding has stressed good governance and always waving an anti-corruption flag. And I believe there was need to speak more explicitly to the claims of the former caretaker, because the caretaker was pretty specific in his public utterances about what the leadership of the party did. The proposal, the counter-proposal, and all the other things he has itemized in that Facebook post. The leadership was not very specific about what it did or did not do in relation to what the caretaker, or the former caretaker, has said in his Facebook post. As is our duty, though, we will pursue those answers today or tomorrow, as has been reported now, George, that what was being said for several months now has been confirmed, because the former police officer, Senior Superintendent Steve McGregor, is to be presented as the new standard bearer, the new caretaker for the PNP in Central Kingston tomorrow. A man who is coming back to Central Kingston to do a job that will require unification, but is coming under a cloud of controversy. And Rose said yesterday, and I just want to pull it up and read it verbatim, George, and our listeners. He said, "We the people of Central Kingston are the ones who are on the voters list and will be determining who the next MP is." So when you hear something like that, it simply means that going forward, unless the PNP does some real rejigging and talking and assurance and all of that to get things back together, this is an indication that it's not over. He says, "We, the people of Central Kingston, are the ones who are on the voters list and will be determining who is the next MP." Will that make the former police officer's job difficult? If this is an indication of anything, it will. And how will this play into the PNP's fortunes there? Yeah, only time will tell on that one, but that's what's on my mind.
Youth in conflict with the law can get a second chance through child diversion. For more information, visit moj.gov.jm. The time by the Ministry of Justice is
6:46.
Horton's RX, the caring pharmacy, the Yes We Can pharmacy, the Yes It's in Stock pharmacy, the House Call Delivery pharmacy, the RX Pack mobile app pharmacy, the RX Plus digital wallet pharmacy, the 20% reward pharmacy, the easy to remember number pharmacy, 876-RX0RXRX, the easy access 24/7 pharmacy, Horton's RX, the convenient pharmacy, #wellness, #simply delivered.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies including plugs, switches, panel boards and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
Street Smart and the JUTC Morning Commute is brought to you by JUTC, your route to excellence.
Time now for Street Smarts 1 with Ludlow McLean. Good morning, Ludlow.
Good morning, George. Good morning. Good morning, Connor.
Hey, to you, Ludlow.
All right. Listeners, motoring public, everyone here. It's not, well, you know what happens? After this report, by the time we get to 7:15, it's bright and so, but so far, it's clear skies, but looking a bit hazy. But in the meantime, what I realize now for this January here, lots of vehicles are moving out earlier. So as a consequence, the roads are busy. I wouldn't say it is clear, but it's really, really busy. Those of you coming out of Portmore, whether you're using the toll, getting through the port, and then onto Marcus Garvey Drive, a lot of movement there heading towards Marcus Garvey Drive. And on the other side, a lot of movement within Portmore, Port Henderson Road, George Lee Boulevard, the I-95 or Municipal Boulevard, quite busy, quite active, and then you exit onto the Mandela Highway, where it is quite busy already, especially if you're going on the eastbound leg. Westbound, getting to Spanish Town, not a problem, but coming towards the 6 miles, that's where you're going to find it really congested. And from 6 miles to 3 miles, 6 miles to along Washington Boulevard in its entirety, quite busy, quite active, connecting with Moline Road heading into Half a Tree, going past Seaward Drive, going past the intersection of Moline and Walton Park Road going down. But Walton Park Road, steady flow though, going all the way down towards Newark Avenue, and then going further down to the intersection of Walton and Hagley Park. Hagley Park Road, steady, flowing, but as you get closer to 3 miles, you're going to find that also building. And going further down to Spanish Town, well, we know what the situation is. The roadways are not so smooth at this time, but I guess in a few weeks or months, that will be sorted out. The eastern side is not much of a problem at this time. So if you're going up Mountain View and going further up towards Ligony, it's pretty good going so far. But remember, this is a dynamic situation. It builds all the time. All right, so it was first report for the morning until about 7:18. It's back to you, George.
Thank you, Ludlow. Ludlow there with Street Smarts 1. Up next, the word of the day.
Street Smart and the JUTC Morning Commute was brought to you by JUTC, your route to excellence.
Your word of the day. Let's see. It's spelled INTENERATE. Spelled INTENERATE.
Intenerate. Intenerate. Intenerate.
Intenerate is your word of the day. It's a verb, an action word, intenerate, and it means to make soft or tender, soften, intenerate. INTENERATE. And Dictionary.com is telling us that the word was first recorded between 1585 and 1595. Between 1585 and 1595. To use it in a sentence, soaking the stiff wool in a vinegar solution will intenerate, will soften the fibers. And another for you, words of praise can intenerate a stubborn heart, can soften a stubborn heart. Intenerate is your word of the day.
By virtue of its actions in central Kingston, the PNP will only end up integrating the competition the JLP will face at the next general election.
Love that sentence. Listen, George, speaking of words, I was reading the newscast, and of course, my technical operator, Jermaine King, always listening as well. Yeah? And maybe about 5 stories, the word or synonyms of the word was used.
Spurious.
In so many of the stories, including, I believe, in the regional or international.
International, Donald Trump story.
False was used. So our secondary word of the day. Play it again.
Spurious.
Spurious. So those are the words of the day. Up next, your features at the top of the hour, the news.
Do you feel hungry all the time?
even if you've just eaten or had a meal an hour earlier. Being constantly hungry can be caused by lack of protein, fiber, and fat in your diet. Not getting enough sleep or being stressed can also affect your appetite. Hunger typically sets in after 2 hours from the last time you've eaten a meal. In Food for Thought today, reasons you are hungry all the time. 1. You're not eating enough protein. Protein is one of the 3 macronutrients your body needs to give you energy. Carbohydrates and fats are the other 2. When used together in a meal, they can help fuel your body and keep you feeling full. For example, a meal heavy on carbs will cause your sugar to spike and then decrease, leading to hunger. When you include protein with a complex carbohydrate, it slows down the rate of glucose. This means you'll have a gradual increase and then a gradual decrease, which makes you feel more settled and satisfied. Try consuming protein-rich foods such as dairy products like yogurt, milk and cheese, eggs, fish, beans, tofu, seeds and nuts. 2. You're not sleeping well. If you're not getting the recommended 7 to 9 hours of sleep daily, it can lead to weight gain. Sleep helps regulate ghrelin, an appetite-stimulating hormone. Not getting enough sleep increases ghrelin, leading you to feel hungry when you're actually in need of sleep. 3. You're not drinking enough water. Many of us feel like we're hungry when in fact we're just thirsty. But before you slug down that 4th cup of coffee, consider that your large caramel latte with whipped cream is dehydrating you, not to mention adding unnecessary calories. Drinking water throughout the day will help keep you hydrated and potentially stave off hunger. Your diet is low in fat. Adding foods that are high in omega-3 fatty acids like salmon, tuna, sardines, walnuts, or flax seeds can help with your appetite. But if you're lacking healthy fat in your diet, it can lead to craving carbs and foods high in sugar. 5. Your diet needs more fiber. Fiber is good for so many reasons, but when it comes to hunger, look for foods high in fiber like fruits, vegetables, lentils, beans, and oats to help release appetite-reducing hormones. 6. You're eating too much refined carbs. Watch out for foods made with refined carbs like white flour or white rice, candy, and other baked goods. Those ingredients have been processed and lose many of their nutrients and fiber. Eating too many refined carbs doesn't leave you feeling full for long. In fact, it spikes your blood sugar, and then when it drops, you're hungry again. Your body relies on food for energy, so it's normal to feel hungry if you don't eat for a few hours. But if hunger is something you deal with on a regular basis, you might benefit from eating every 2 to 3 hours and then having a small snack. That's it for Food for Thought. Until next time.
Fearless and fair. Nationwide 90 FM.
Dressing for a special occasion is sometimes hard to do. After all, we all want to look our best when we attend events. Hi, I'm Tana, and today on Lifestyle Pages, former Custos of St. Andrew Marigold Harding shares some great tips for getting dressed. She says when choosing your outfit, wisely consider the message you wish to send.
The clothes we wear and the way we groom ourselves represent how we choose to represent ourselves to others, and most importantly, reflect the importance we attach to the occasion. The message that clothes can send often matters more than clothes themselves.
It's okay to show off your individuality. After all, everyone has their own style. But as Mrs. Harding explains, this should not be the only factor that decides what you wear. Remember, you will never get a second chance to make a first impression.
Individuality, personal expression have their own place, but the principles of respect and consideration for others, plus common sense, should underline all dressing and grooming decisions.
Marigold Harding, former Custos of St. Andrew. I'm Tana, and those are your Lifestyle Pages.
On the go, the latest stories from Jamaica and around the world are literally a finger tap away. Keep up to date with Team Revolution 24 hours a day online via nationwideradiojm.com. Listen live, read the latest stories, hear every soundbite. Be a part of the vibrant online debate via Facebook and Twitter. Now you can get all your favorite premium nationwide content at your convenience. Visit the Android Play Store and download it for free today. NationwideRadioJM.com. All day, every day. Team Revolution.
Are you ready for it?
Revo. Coming soon.
Nationwide 90 FM, continuing the tradition of fair, fearless, and factual reporting. You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
7 o'clock.
If you need to build it, plumb it, weld it, pave it, or power it, National Supply has it. Get the best brands for the job at Jamaica's Industrial Hardware Superstore, Kingston Normal Bay. The temperature by National Supply is
25 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 24 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 19 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
the most credible news in the morning. The news at 7 on Nationwide 90 FM.
Coming up in the news at 7 for this morning, Tuesday, January 14, 2025, the PNP labels as spurious claims from its former caretaker in central Kingston that he was given extraordinary promises in order to walk away quietly. The government reopens 3 local bonds valued at $22 billion. Officials at Victoria Jubilee Hospital refute claims on social media about poor patient care and resource shortages at the facility. And in international news, the U.S. Department of Justice says Donald Trump would have been convicted if not elected president.
News at 7 is brought to you by Fosrich, your electrical, lighting, solar, and LED people.
If it's news, it's got to be Nationwide 90 FM.
Now to the details. The opposition PNP have dismissed as spurious extraordinary claims made by its former caretaker in central Kingston, Lawrence Rowe. Rowe claims that in exchange for accepting the PNP's decision without showing dissent, PNP President Mark Golding promised him an appointment as a government senator, appointment to the board of a housing agency, and $15 million in resources. Rowe made the claims in a post on Facebook last Saturday as he reacted to word from the PNP that he was no longer their caretaker in central Kingston. But in a response on Monday evening, over 48 hours later, the PNP rejected the claims as bogus. The PNP says while such claims may spark political intrigue for some, they contradict the party's long-standing policies and practices. The party says it remains focused on upholding the principles of transparency and good governance. The PNP says the matter will be addressed at a time convenient to the party. The PNP ended its statement by encouraging the public and media to focus on the party's continued efforts to serve the people of central Kingston with integrity and dedication. Former Senior Superintendent of Police Steve McGregor has since been announced as the PNP's new caretaker in central Kingston. The government has reopened 3 local bonds valued at $22 billion with varied maturation dates. That's according to notices issued by the Bank of Jamaica last Friday. It's uncertain the purpose of the instruments at this time. Nora Gay Banton tells us more.
The smallest of the bonds, valued at $6 billion, will mature over a 3-year and 2-month period. Half-yearly interest payments will begin on March 21, 2025. The payments will be subject to a 10% per annum fixed interest rate. The final maturity date is March 28, 2028, with a minimum bid amount of $1,000. The $7 billion offering will mature in March 2037 with a similar half-yearly interest rate scheme at 10% per annum. The largest of the bonds at $9 billion has the longest maturation date set at December 2050. It also has slightly better half-yearly interest rate payments at 12.25% per annum. All three bonds have subscription dates beginning on the 15th of January. The settlement dates are set on the 17th of January. Efforts to get a comment from Finance Minister Favour Williams were unsuccessful. However, financial analyst and chartered accountant Dennis Chung believes the funds will most likely be used to retire other instruments or convert expensive foreign-denominated bonds into local currency.
The reasons could be that they could be using it to pay off some other retiring instruments that they have out there. I don't think that they would be issuing it to mop up liquidity that's out there at a time when they're reducing interest rates, and the primary purpose of reducing interest rates is to create liquidity in the market. So that doesn't seem like it. So maybe it is that they are going to be using it to either convert bonds from one currency to another, or they're going to be retiring bonds. That's maybe the most likely thing.
Nora Gay Banton for Nationwide News.
Works Minister Robert Morgan says the opposition leader Mark Golding is playing politics through his criticism of the government's $45 billion road rehabilitation program, SPARK. Work under SPARK began last December. Golding says major projects like SPARK provide a chance for the Holness administration and its enablers to bleed the public purse. Morgan says such a claim is false.
The SPARK program wasn't announced. No, it was announced actually 2 budgets ago. I wish that SPARK had started last year. The leader of the opposition in his criticism is really not criticizing me or the Prime Minister, because the Prime Minister and I only announce policy. We do not pay anybody. We are not engineers. There's an entire procurement unit at the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, and there's one also at the National Works Agency. There's a group of people called the Public Procurement Commission, which has persons from the private sector and the public sector. There are engineers and contractors who are members of the Master Builder Association who participate in these programs, who bid for their contracts publicly through the papers, and who win their contracts and do their work, and the work is validated and they are paid.
Minister Morgan says the opposition leader is seeking attention in his bid for power.
When the leader of the opposition says that these projects are created so we and our cronies can scrape, who are the cronies? Is he saying that the public sector workers are the cronies? Is it the Public Procurement Commission that are the cronies? Is it the engineers are the cronies? Is it the grade 1, grade 2 contractors? Some of them have been non-aligned to any political party. Some have been aligned to political parties. Some are agnostic to politics. Are they the cronies? And that's the problem with a scorched earth approach to politics, where because you're so desperate for power, you will even throw out the baby with the bath water. You don't care about anyone's integrity. You don't care about anyone's reputation. You just want to win. So whatever you can say or do to cause you to be in power, as Mr. Pickersgill said, you will do it.
Robert Morgan, Works Minister. He was speaking on Nationwide at 5 on Monday. Senior Medical Officer at the Victoria Jubilee Hospital, Dr. Garth MacDonald, is refuting recent claims circulating on social media alleging poor patient care and resource shortages at the facility. In a statement on Monday, the hospital says the allegations circulating on Instagram suggested that a female patient admitted to the labor ward faced significant delays due to a lack of beds and medical assistance. Dr. MacDonald says the reports are false.
It is unfortunate when statements are made that are sometimes blatantly untrue, that reflect poorly on the care which we deliver here. We are committed to the improvement in terms of aesthetics, infrastructure, care and customer service. It may not always be ideal, but the work is ongoing and our commitment continues. We are happy that the delivery was safe, mother and baby are safe, and we continue to offer the best care possible based on our current circumstances.
Dr. MacDonald says at no point during the woman's stay at the hospital was the labor ward full or experiencing any bed-related issue. He said that upon her arrival at the hospital, she was assessed as being 8 centimeters dilated and in active labor. A healthcare worker reportedly attended to her and she was given the option to use a recliner or return to the examination bed while her bed was being prepared, a process that reportedly took less than 10 minutes. The woman and her baby were discharged the following day after her delivery without complications. Dr. MacDonald notes that the hospital successfully delivered 10 babies that night without incident. The hospital management is urging the public to refrain from spreading false information and to use appropriate channels for concerns or complaints.
It would also be great for all the persons who have had positive interactions with the hospital, have had good deliveries, have had successful surgeries, to also go on social media and publicize what exactly takes place at Victoria Jubilee Hospital, so the women of Jamaica can have the confidence in their hospital. Victoria Jubilee Hospital, the birthplace of the nation.
Dr. Garth MacDonald, Senior Medical Officer at the Victoria Jubilee Hospital. The Ministry of National Security is refuting reports that the motor vehicle e-ticketing system is experiencing technical issues. This is in response to 2 recent media reports highlighting discrepancies in the system. In a statement on Monday, the ministry says it's understandable that the 2 cases identified in the reports have caused public concern. However, it's expressing confidence in the system. Shalois Michael reports.
According to the Ministry of National Security, the discrepancies highlighted by the media reports are related to procedural error. It adds that it's noteworthy that all the tickets in question were issued by the same officer within the same area and during a similar time period. The ministry says as part of this ongoing investigation, the JCF is reviewing other tickets issued by the concerned officer to identify any additional anomalies or unresolved cases. According to the ministry, this proactive approach underscores its and the JCF's commitment to transparency and accountability. It notes that of the 306,000 traffic tickets issued via the system in 2023, only 2 errors of this nature have surfaced to date, representing significantly less than 0.1% of this type of error. Still, the ministry says it's working to devise additional system-related mechanisms and training in order to reduce the likelihood of any kind of error on the part of the issuing officers. The ministry says since its introduction in 2023, the e-ticketing system has been a transformative tool for traffic enforcement and public safety in Jamaica. In 2024 alone, more than 580,000 tickets were issued through the system, reflecting enhanced efficiency and accuracy. The National Security Ministry adds that measures are being taken to address any gaps in training and usage of the e-ticketing system to prevent the recurrence of such incidents. Shalois Michael for Nationwide News.
The Ministry of Education says it is investigating a recent incident in which students at McGrath High School in Linstead St. Catherine were barred entry to the institution due to a grooming policy infraction. The matter came to public attention last week after a video started circulating on social media.
Please come over McGrath because my ear is my nationality and it's for significance in me so I can go in the school. They don't want me to.
Then tell me for trim.
Then tell for trim. They don't want we go in our school because our ear. Our ear is our nationality. Ministry of Education, I beg you please. See McGrath, yeah? See McGrath, yeah? Come over at school. I mean, I make it as no joke. I swear to God, I swear. Come over. Look how much shoot out here. Walk out school and can't go. Our ear.
Students of McGrath High there in that video. The ministry in a statement on Monday says it is reviewing preliminary data from ongoing assessments. It says a preliminary report from the school said a male student arrived late and was cautioned about both his tardiness and his haircut, which did not comply with the school's regulations. Despite being instructed to stay in a designated area while his parents were contacted, the student reportedly left the compound. Efforts by the principal to direct the student and others back inside were met with non-compliance. The ministry says it has been assessing the issue through its regional office and will be meeting with the student, his parents, the principal and other involved parties to discuss the matter. These meetings are part of efforts the ministry says it is hosting to ensure that all stakeholders are adhering to the established protocols while also prioritizing the educational needs and well-being of the students involved. Chief Education Officer Terrian Thomas Gale says the ministry does not take the incidents lightly. The Ministry of Education says it's dispatching its regional team of guidance counselors and grief support services to Pear Tree Grove Primary and Infant School at the border of St. Mary and St. Catherine. This follows the murder of a teacher identified as 59-year-old Angela Hamilton. According to reports, Hamilton was last seen leaving the school compound on Friday at approximately 4:30. Repeated calls to her mobile phone thereafter went unanswered. Her lifeless body was discovered at her home on Saturday. Her throat had been slashed. The police have since launched an investigation. Education Minister Senator Dana Morris Dixon has condemned Miss Hamilton's killing. She described the teacher as a committed educator who was a beacon of guidance and support to her students. She says resources will be available to provide emotional support to students and staff. Commanding officer for the St. Elizabeth Police, Superintendent Coleridge Minter, says the division will work hard to keep major crimes in the parish on the downward trend. The parish registered a 20% decline in murders in 2024.
Last year, we ended the year with 29% reduction in major crime, with murders reduced by 20%. Whilst this achievement is noted, the St. Elizabeth Police will continue to augment our strategies to ensure that major crimes continue on the downward trend. For 2024, the total number of seizure of ammunition was 1,313, which represents a 374% increase over the previous year.
Superintendent Coleridge Minto, head of the St. Elizabeth Police. He was speaking at a recent meeting of the St. Elizabeth Municipal Corporation. According to the latest JCF crime report, there's been a single murder in St. Elizabeth so far this year. Meanwhile, the figure recorded across the country was 34 over the first 11 days. International news now. President-elect Donald Trump would have been convicted of illegally trying to overturn the result of the 2020 presidential election, which he lost, if he had not successfully been re-elected in 2024. That's according to the man who led U.S. government investigations into Trump. Special counsel Jack Smith wrote in a partially released report that the evidence against Trump was sufficient to obtain and sustain a conviction at trial. But according to reporting from the BBC, Trump hit back, saying Smith was deranged and that his findings were fake. Trump was accused of pressurizing officials to reverse the 2020 result, knowingly spreading lies about election fraud, and seeking to exploit the riot at the U.S. Capitol on January 6, 2021. He has strenuously denied any wrongdoing. That's the news.
News at 7 was brought to you by Fosrich, your electrical, lighting, solar, and LED people.
Fix up with Fleetwood products for your home improvement, personal care, and aromatherapy needs. They have your well-being in mind. Available at retailers island-wide. The temperature by Fleetwood Jamaica is
25 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 24 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 19 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
If them a hide and a bribe, you know we not sleep. Extortion them want, you know that not keep. Fight against corruption, turn up the heat. Load up the kickback and fraud when you see. Anti-corruption, join in the fight. Let's come together and make this right. When you see wrong, you feel open your mouth. Now there's a new avenue for speak out. We need a reduction. Make we fight against corruption.
The Integrity Commission is working towards Jamaica, where there's integrity, accountability, and transparency in public service, where acts of corruption by persons in public office will be investigated and dealt with transparency and accountability. Stand with us in the fight against corruption. Call the Integrity Commission Anti-Corruption Hotline 876-926-0001.
Make we fight against corruption.
Street Smart and the JUTC Morning Commute is brought to you by JUTC, your route to excellence.
Time now for Street Smarts 2 with Ludlow McLean. Good morning, Ludlow.
George, morning. As I predicted, it's bright and sunny now. Blue skies, busy road conditions, I'm telling you. The traffic is out from early and it continues. It accumulates all along in various areas. Coming off Queen Hill onto Red Hills Road, it's busy. If you're around the Meadowbrook Estate, coming from Duhaney Drive, Abbeville, as you get onto the vicinity of Abbeville, to get around in that roundabout, you're going to find a little bit busy, but it's even busier along Perkins Boulevard to get onto Red Hills Road. Making that right turn along Red Hills Road is going to be traffic. Along Red Hills Road going all the way further down in the vicinity of the overpass by Dunrobin and Washington Boulevard. It's the same thing along Mullines Road. Mullines Road coming from the top all the way towards the intersection. Quite busy, bumper-to-bumper traffic. And I should also say, if you're coming out of Avondale, if they drive onto Mannington Road or Border Avenue onto Mannington Road, it's really bumper-to-bumper traffic. And Mannington Road is carrying a lot of traffic as you make your way to that intersection of Mannington Road, Constance Spring Road. Constance Spring was already busy, but it's moving. But as you get to the vicinity, as I said, Mayor Brown's Corner, and even further down the Constance Spring and Grand Spin Road, and also Constance Spring and Shortwood Road, you're definitely going to have traffic. And around Barbican Road, Grand Spin Road, traffic, Barbican Road, traffic, along the eastbound corridor, all the way to East Kings House Road, and going further around to Whitcomb, Whitcomb, there's also traffic that's going to take you around to the intersection of Oak Road and Olof Road, respectively, as you make your way. Because Ligonier already has traffic coming from as far as Papi. So it's quite a busy Tuesday morning, and as I said, bright and sunny. And let's see what happens. I know, George and listeners, the traffic will remain even in other areas. Brentford Road or Studio One Boulevard, and going further down Slipen Road, across Hero Circle, East and West Hero Circle, and further along North Street. These areas, there are a lot of traffic even after this report. So there you go. Have yourselves a great morning or throughout the day, and just drive careful, as usual. At Street Smart, your safety is all concerned. George, it's over to you.
Thank you, Ludlow. Ludlow McLean there with Street Smarts 2. Up next, front page.
Street Smart and the JUTC Morning Commute was brought to you by JUTC, your route to excellence.
Front Page is brought to you today by ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business. For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies including plugs, switches, panel boards and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
Welcome back to Nationwide this morning. You're now tuned into our discussion segment, The Front Page. Turning our attention to the matter of Lawrence Rowe being removed as the PNP's caretaker in the constituency of Central Kingston. Getting some reactions to that, the opposition PNP has dismissed as spurious extraordinary claims made by its former caretaker in Central Kingston, Lawrence Rowe. Rowe claims that in exchange for accepting the PNP's decision without showing dissent, PNP President Mark Golding promised him an appointment as a government senator, appointment to the board of a housing agency, and $15 million in resources. Rowe made the claims in a post on Facebook last Saturday. But in response on Monday evening, over 48 hours later, the PNP rejected the claims as spurious. The PNP says while such claims may spark political intrigue for some, they contradict the party's long-standing policies and practices. It says the party remains focused on upholding the principles of transparency and good governance. The PNP says the matter will be addressed at a time convenient to the party. The PNP ended its statement by encouraging the public and media to focus on the party's continued efforts to serve the people of Central Kingston with integrity and dedication. Former Senior Superintendent of Police Steve McGregor has since been announced as the PNP's new caretaker in Central Kingston. For reactions to the matter, we're being joined by public commentator and debater Jermaine Barrett. Good morning to you, Jermaine.
Morning.
Hi, good morning. Good morning to you both. Good morning to your listeners.
First of all, Jermaine, your reactions to the back and forth that has been taking place between the leadership of the party and Lawrence Rowe, his accounts that have been posted to social media.
I tell you, Tona, when I heard the news at first, I was absolutely shocked. And I think most well-thinking Jamaicans would have been similarly shocked as well, because if it were true that these promises were made to him as a means of, having him go away quiet into the night, it would have been majorly concerning. The PNP has touted that it is very much against corruption, very much against these kinds of, skullduggery, and for it to be caught doing this kind of thing would have been most regrettable. Right now, Jamaicans are really confused because we have this allegation by Lawrence Rowe, but then the PNP has come out and said, no such thing ever happened, and so it is really. I'm really eager to hear how this pans out, how the PNP continues to respond to it, whether or not Lawrence Rowe comes and provides evidence of this having happened. But it really, if this is true, it really is a bad day for the democracy.
But do you think, Jermaine, that the PNP statement has gone far enough to answer to the allegations that Lawrence Rowe has made in his Facebook post?
No, I would have wanted to hear, for example, some sort of information, some evidence that goes further to disprove the claims. For example, the specificity of Lawrence Rowe's allegations, $15 million, a Senate post, the idea of him having been presented with alternative options and then him counter proposing, that kind of thing. It's quite specific. So one would have wanted to have heard more specific details to sort of attempt to disprove it. So information, for example, that indicates to us that in the eyes of the PNP, this is the how things unfolded. Give me some timeline. Give me some information about who spoke to him and what was the gist of the conversation, that kind of thing, so that I could have a different kind of narrative, a different plot to sort of weigh against his claims. That would have been very much helpful, I think.
Persons are digesting the different statements that have come out and coming away with their own assessments. An aspect of it, Jermaine, has been about Mark Golding's leadership and what these different statements and back and forth might say about his leadership. For example, it indicates that the Integrity Committee of the PNP had done its assessment into Lawrence Rowe before he became the caretaker, came back to the party leadership, the PNP president, and said, well, our assessment, our findings, our conclusion is that he's not fit and proper to lead. But the party president went or disregarded that Integrity Committee finding and still installed Lawrence Rowe as the caretaker there in 2023. I mean, now that we're hearing all of this, what does that particular thing plus the entire situation reveal to you about his leadership style or his ability to manage challenges within the party?
Well, Donna, you have just sort of highlighted something that remains a major concern, and this is something about which the PNP needs to provide answers. If it is that a committee such as the Integrity Committee has been established by the People's National Party to do, its due diligence and to interrogate and to assess the extent to which an individual is fit and proper for, running as the PNP's candidate in a constituency. And if it is that having engaged in its investigation, the Integrity Committee finds this individual, Lawrence Rowe, ill-suited for such a position, I would want to know what better evidence would the party leader have in order to dismiss the findings of the Integrity Committee and essentially go ahead and appoint him in the position. Yes, that is a major concern, because being a leader doesn't mean simply that you just make a decision willy-nilly. You have to be guided by evidence. You have to act in accordance with the information that is, in your estimation, correct. And I would want to know what is it about the information from the Integrity Committee that the party leader, in his best judgment, deemed not to be adequate, and what other evidence would the party leader have had to have guided him in his decision-making process. Otherwise, the public is led to believe that Mark Golin would have acted in a way that essentially just set aside the studied decision of the Integrity Committee because maybe for some inappropriate means. And that doesn't do good at all for the PNP, and certainly not for its leader, because that is not how it is that one would want for a leader to make decisions.
Jermaine Barrett, speaking with you, getting some reactions to all of the happenings now, the back and forth in relation to Lawrence Rowe being removed as the caretaker in Central Kingston. I'm going to take a break and come back with more.
Give up every illegal gun. Call the police at 119 or Crime Stop at 311. The time by the Ministry of National Security is
7:30.
Rent or buy your hurricane supplies from Total Tools. Visit 102 Main Street, Ocho Rios, or 34 Slipe Road, Kingston 5. The temperature brought to you by Total Tools Jamaica is
25 degrees Celsius in both Kingston and Bombay, 19 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
If you're a homeowner looking to upgrade your space, a business owner in need of durable and cost-effective construction solutions, or an Airbnb host looking to make your guests more comfortable, Freeform Factory has got you covered. Their expandable polystyrene foam products are the perfect solution for building, insulating, and decorating your space in a cost-effective and durable way. Visit them today at 6 Nanspen Drive, Kingston, or 7 Harbour Street, Montego Bay, or call 876-757-2395. Freeform. Build, insulate, decorate.
Yo, babes, me there Popeyes with the hottest thing.
Wait, where's a little while?
And the new Popeyes wings, signature hot flavor, just touched down with the pepper turn up. Try it if you're brave.
Well, make sure you bring a 30-piece signature hot for me.
Shh, you up. Break up. Where you sell it a while?
See so we do it.
Brave up and try the brand new Popeyes wings. Signature hot. More wings, more flavor.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Are you ready for it?
Revo. Coming soon.
Welcome back to Nationwide. This morning we are getting ready to speak with the Member of Parliament for Central Kingston, Donovan Williams, who will be speaking to us a little bit later, a few moments away. We're just going to complete our discussion with Jermaine Barrett. Morning again, Jermaine.
Yes, good morning.
Right. So here's the thing. What do you understand Lawrence Rowe's value to be if the PNP is saying that he's not right for them as a candidate when the time comes in Central Kingston, but if we're going to go by what he says, he would be right to serve this country as a government senator?
Well, that's a question that is best answered by the People's National Party. I don't know what particular skill set, what particular value he has. I suspect for him to have been selected to be the standard bearer for the party in the constituency, for him to have amassed such support to have won the race against whomever it is that he was competing in order to secure that position, signals that he had sufficient popularity. But I don't think that popularity alone is a fact that would warrant one, earning a guarantee for a position within an administration. Yeah?
But Mr. Jeremy, the point I'm making is that of course the finer details are owned by the PNP and they are best placed. But I'm just asking you as a Jamaican to think about someone who a political party says, if we're to go by what, because remember, the PNP waited 48 hours and more to respond. Then when they responded, they didn't respond to the specific claim. So we are still left to speculate because they have declined to offer an alternative view. So we have to go by what Rowe has on the table, because what Rowe has on the table is unchallenged. So, again, listen to what I'm saying now. I'm asking you as a Jamaican to evaluate for me how it is that someone could be deemed not good enough for a party in a seat, but good enough to serve us as a senator, as a legislator.
Well, the PNP has said that they offered no such promise to the good gentleman. And so I don't know if it's in their estimation, it is all made up, it's all fabricated.
But hold on, Jeremy, and again, hold on again. You're a man of detail. I'm looking at the PNP statement here. I'm going to read the whole of it for the public. It's not long. The statement says, the People's National Party notes with concern the spurious allegations relating to monetary offers being circulated by a former candidate, a former caretaker, sections of the media and the JLP. While such claims may spark political intrigue for some, they contradict the party's long-standing policies and practices. The PNP remains focused on upholding the principles of transparency and good governance. The matter will be addressed at a time convenient to the party. We encourage the public and the media to focus on the party's continued efforts to serve the people of Central Kingston with integrity and dedication. Now, Mr. Barrett, man of detail. Nothing in this very brief statement, which in my view serves only as to show that the PNP did say something. It doesn't speak to any of the claims made in detail, and it only makes a passing attempt at one, and that is the part that says the spurious allegations relating to monetary offers. It says nothing about the Senate appointment, nothing about the board appointment. So I'm saying again, the PNP must answer. I'm asking if you agree. How is it that a man is not good enough to serve you as your standard bearer come election time, but that man will be good enough based on your promise to him to serve the country as a legislator?
Well, George, I did not even actually realize that the level of inadequacy of the response of the People's National Party, because there are three allegations made by Lawrence Rowe, that a Senate seat was offered to him, that he was offered the opportunity to sit on a housing agency board. So those two allegations need urgently to be responded to, and it is insufficient of the PNP to have responded solely to one. That's one. The second point, though, and more directed to your response, if it is that it is true, the PNP has done a great disservice and a great injustice to the democracy and to good governance. And I think it reflects that they, quite frankly, by this occurrence, have proven themselves to be ill-suited to govern this country, a country that is beset by corruption and malfeasance. Here it is that there is evidence that, if true, it proves that the People's National Party is treating with the business of these people as though it is sort of a kind of a handout, a kind of a, it's just grossly inappropriate. Yes, I agree with you about that. And I don't know what it is that would have informed the PNP that this man, deemed ill-suited to run as a candidate or a caretaker for the constituency, is at the same time, in the same vein, suited to hold the high office of senator and sitting and to sit on a government board.
And another question, Jermaine, is this, and it's a question for Mr. Rowe as much as it is for the PNP. I'd like to ask Mr. Rowe first. Mr. Rowe, why have you been so specific and particular about directorship on the board of a housing agency, not a school board, not a hospital, not a regional health authority, not any of the myriad other boards that the government has, not on the nutrition board, family planning, nothing. Housing. What is so particular and specific about your set of skills, Mr. Rowe, that you have asked the PNP to put you on the board of a housing agency? And why have the PNP, based on your accounts, acquiesced to your request to put you on such a board? What's so special about the board of a housing agency that you want to be there and you were adamant to be there, and the PNP bowed to your request to be put there if and when they form the next government? I think that's a very important question for Mr. Rowe to answer first.
Absolutely. And in fact, what makes his case a tad bit more persuasive in the eyes of the public is the specificity of the claim, and the PNP's response being so sort of not specific and not addressing the major claim made by Lawrence Rowe makes the PNP's response unpersuasive. And I think many Jamaicans listening now are minded to believe that something untoward happened, and it does, in fact, dim the confidence or reduce the confidence that Jamaicans have in the opposition that is positioning itself as being government in waiting. It does not help at all its case. So the PNP needs to come out and provide details as to what really transpired, give me dates, give me information that leads me as a Jamaican to be of the view that maybe, just maybe, the PNP acted appropriately, certainly in relation to it not offering Lawrence Rowe positions within government and resources and so forth, and a position on the housing agency.
Hear you on that. Thank you this morning, Jermaine, for your time. Always appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All the best.
Jermaine Barrett there. Is it on as we go to the break? The issue is this. The PNP's media unit, I was saying it from last year, how coordinated it is, how busy it is. And of course, the media unit doesn't produce responses itself. It gets from the officials and they put out. Mm-hmm. So the officials give the material that the media unit churns out. And I'm saying to myself, I can't recall an issue which the PNP has been handcuffed, has been hamstrung with, to the extent that it can't respond. Because this response is a no response.
Yeah.
Yeah? You've said nothing to the claims made. You only said, you know what, let me find an adjective to describe the claims. Let's do a catch-all. So, spurious allegations. And then the writer zeroes in, I don't know if it was intentional or otherwise, zeroes in on the allegations relating to monetary offers. Yeah? 15 million big ones. Yes? That's the only thing the statement attempts to blow breath on. Everything else is left. And it leaves a reasonable person to wonder. I wonder if Lawrence Rowe have them on tape. So they are afraid to say that a liar tell, we never promised in a Senate seat. We did not promise the appointment to a housing agency board. We did not promise a 15 million. But they can't be sure he wasn't recording.
Yeah.
So because they can't be sure he wasn't recording, man can't come and in a fulsome, powerful way say the allegations each not so.
Yeah. When I was told that a statement came out, I hadn't opened it yet, but I was expecting George to see bullet points of point 1, and then it's addressed comprehensively. Then point 2 addressed comprehensively. Point 3. Then I opened the statement and saw 5 sentences, which, as you said, doesn't address in detail anything. So it leaves one to wonder.
With so many smart devices around, I think somebody is saying, well, you know what, not go too hard with this response, because next thing, Facebook have some audio going out. Because I can't imagine that a party which says it's government in waiting, a party which says the polls are in its favor and it is going to win at the next election, is in this position, highly damaging claims made by one of its own. And the only thing the party can rise to say is that we note with concern the spurious allegations relating to monetary offers. Offers, one monetary offer I saw in Rose thing, which is the $15 million, all right? So, concern the spurious allegations relating to monetary offers being circulated by a former candidate, sections of the media, and the Jamaica Labour Party. While such claims may spark political intrigue for some, they contradict the party's long-standing policies and practices. So, all right, PNP, let's take you at your word that the part about the money is spurious. What happened to the other 2 parts? What happened to the board appointment? What happened to the Senate promise? The money is hugely problematic, but you will say that you spoke to the money issue and you said that the money claim is false. All right? What happened to the other 2 things? And the statement goes on to say, the PNP remains focused on upholding the principles of transparency. Where is the transparency in the response to the claims? That's where transparency starts. PNP, transparency does not mean that you say, I am transparent. It means that you show you are transparent. So, Mr. General Secretary, where are you this morning, sir? Where are you this morning? Where is your explanation of what one of your own is claiming? These things are highly damaging. And this statement does not take the edge of these extraordinary claims. It deserves transparency. You write in your statement that you remain focused. So, because you're focused, you can't talk? You are so focused that you say, boy, George, I'm focused right now. I can't talk yet. No. You're upholding transparency and good governance, and you respond in this way to an attack on your credibility as an institution that upholds transparency and good governance. It doesn't make sense. And then this no turner. The matter will be addressed at a time convenient to the party. When we're ready, we will respond in our own time, if we feel like. We take a break, we come back with more.
Listen up, motorists. Speeding burns more gas. So slow down. The life you save may be your own and also that of your loved ones. Slow down. Save lives and money. The time by the Insurance Association of Jamaica is
7:46.
At Hawkeye, our mission is to deliver cutting-edge security solutions to help you keep track of the things you value most.
The temperature by Hawkeye is
25 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 25 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 20 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
Since 1995, we've been your go-to source for everything related to billiards, amusement machines, and electronics. With locations at 1A Lindsay Terrace, Kingston 10, and the Village Plaza, Big Bridge, Savannah Lamar, we offer top-quality pool table parts and accessories, cutting-edge gaming machines, and more. We also specialize in assembly, sales, and service of amusement machines. We provide unmatched customer service, expert solutions, and products tailored to your needs. Who are we? We are Eclipse Enterprise. Telephone 876-960-3891.
If them a hide and a bribe, you know we not sleep. Extortion them want, you know that not keep. Fight against corruption, turn up the heat. Load up the kickback and fraud when you see. Anti-corruption, join in the fight. Let's come together and make this right. When you see wrong, you feel open your mouth. Now there's a new avenue for speak out. We need a reduction. Make we fight against corruption.
The Integrity Commission is working towards Jamaica, where there's integrity, accountability, and transparency in public service, where acts of corruption by persons in public office will be investigated and dealt with transparency and accountability. Stand with us in the fight against corruption. Call the Integrity Commission Anti-Corruption Hotline 876-926-0001.
Make we fight against corruption.
Sunday, February 16, 2025 will be pure energy and excitement as thousands hit the streets, running, walking, and wheeling with a purpose. The Sagicor Sigma Run isn't just a road race, it's a celebration of people coming together to make a difference. Don't miss the Caribbean's biggest running event, Sagicor Sigma Run 2025. Visit SagicorSigmaRun.com and register now. Run for the fun, donate for the cause. Sponsored by Walden, Pan Jam, National Baking Company, Reggae Marathon, Catherine Speak, Malay Media, and Whistling Frog.
Just before we go to Donovan Williams, we're monitoring the YouTube chat. We see Glaister Hall telling who we believe to be a woman about the quote-unquote under you. Absolutely unacceptable, sir. So you have been blocked. So whomever using the Glaister Hall account, you won't be able to post anymore here. Rude. Out of order. Donovan Williams is the Member of Parliament for Central Kingston. He has some concerns which may be attached to the upheaval in the constituency at this time. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, George. Good morning, Tana. Good morning to our listeners. Good morning to the beautiful people of Central Kingston.
Yes. Thank you.
Good morning.
We understand that there are some concerns you have about the, can we say, security situation in the constituency?
Well, what I would say is that Central Kingston for some time now has been enjoying a relatively peaceful period. We are boasting right now the best crime statistics in Central Kingston for a while. The crime and violence is significantly down, and we want to congratulate the good work of the two police divisions that are in command of the constituency, the East Kingston Police Division and the Central Kingston Police Division. They have done significant work in collaboration with the political directorate, the respective stakeholder groups. We have made significant strides in Central Kingston where crime and violence is concerned.
Mm-hmm.
In the Almontown division, we have been doing well in the past several months. The community has been relatively peaceful. We had some flare-ups earlier on in the year last year. We took control of it, and we have been, experiencing a good time, peaceful time in the constituency. Sunday night, we found it very strange that Sunday night we had an incident where a particular street was shut up, Wild Street, predominantly, one could say, an area that supports the Jamaica Labour Party.
Traditionally.
And we found it to be strange. Men just pull up and from the Hero Circle vantage point fired shots into Wild Street. Now, I know the police is investigating. It's still early days. I've spoken to the residents. I've been on the ground, and I've been trying to get to the root of it. And we just can't seem to get to a motive. And we kind of, I'm finding it strange. And so I just want to put on the record that we have long passed those days of political tribalism. I'm not saying it is politically motivated. As I'm saying, we're still investigating.
Yes.
But I'm constrained to go on the record to say, look here, Central Kingston is doing well. We are relatively violence-free, and we do not want that kind of thing to rear its ugly head again.
So, question MP. Based, you know the ground well. It's your constituency. It's your place. what are you picking up? Is it that it is likely to be men from elsewhere in Central Kingston or men from outside Central Kingston?
Well, as I said, I cannot. Well, it is not internal. It is not internal, meaning, and I would say, based on my preliminary investigations and my anecdotal being on the ground,
yes,
it seems to be external.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to be external. But as I said, the investigation is still ongoing.
The reason I asked that in the MP is because of this. I want to also draw a contrast, based on your information, with the nature of violence in Central Kingston. If it's usually perpetrated by men within the constituency who have differences for whatever reason, who go at it, or if men from outside come there to advance their own criminal agenda. What is it?
Yeah, well, I would say in the past we have had internal conflicts. So we have had disputes between factions in the community, in the constituency. And as we speak now, we have seen that has plummeted significantly. And so this recent incident, I am not getting the feeling that it is motivated by any internal dispute or by any factions in the community. The impression I'm getting, and as I said, it is still early days.
Yeah.
And I do not want to preempt the police.
Yeah, is there tension there, MP, following Sunday's shooting?
No, the tension has abated. The tension in that specific area, because you see, I was on the ground, and the residents were actually saying, Mr. Williams, where is this? What is this? We have been enjoying a peaceful period. I mean, there's no tension.
Yes.
And so I find it strange. So what I want to say is that, Central Kingston has made significant strides. We have, in fact, the Honorable Minister of National Security has gone on record to say that the constituency is doing well. We have a Zozo in the Parade Gardens area that is the best performing Zozo throughout the entire island. In fact, we have contributed to in all the Zozo areas, we have contributed to an 88% decline. Central Kingston alone, the Parade Gardens community alone,
yes,
has contributed to an 88% decline in crime and violence, generally,
yes,
in the zones of...
And that's on the Project Star as well?
Yes, and I must commend Project Star, the Kingston Central Police Division led by Superintendent Williams, DSP Francis, who has now been transferred. DSP Francis and Superintendent Williams, along with my counselor, Mrs. Rosalie Hamilton, the various stakeholder groups, Yard Empire, Project Star.
Yeah.
We have all rallied together and collaborated, and we have done well.
Donovan Williams, do you know Lawrence Rowe?
Yes.
I
know Lawrence Rowe.
Good man?
Yes, Lawrence Rowe. I've not had any we have a good relationship. Lawrence Rowe and I have a good relationship. And, that is the kind of relationships that we want in the constituency. We want to eliminate political tribalism. And I will tell you that we have not had any issues. We are competitors.
Yes.
We were competitors, so to speak, until he was removed.
And what do you make of that decision by the PNP to take him out of the race, and they're going to send Steve McGregor to fight,
Well, the truth is, it is the goodly retired cop democratic right to seek to enter representational politics. We have no issue with that. I do not want to. I cannot get into the internal ramblings of the other side and what they what would have spurred them to make such a decision and create this debacle. But I welcome the competition. Whoever
would Lawrence Rowe have beaten you?
No, I would have won.
You would have beaten Lawrence Rowe. Then it makes sense then why the PNP did what they did.
No, I would have beaten anyone. Anyone comes will be.
Oh, so you're gonna beat SSP?
Everybody will be beaten, man. Anyone that the PNP chooses, the other side chooses, will be beaten. We have a track record of performance. We have entered the community and rescued it from 40 years of neglect. The community is being developed. The community is peaceful. We have reduced unemployment in the community. More people are working. More young people are being trained. More young people are in HEART, LIFT, various programs. The infrastructure in the community is developing. We are improving the housing. We are assisting with building grants. We are trying to stem the urban decay that is there for 40 years. The people have seen the good work that we have put in. And so we know that we are in a good position in the constituency.
So it's because the PNP, you would say that because the PNP picked up from influential people in there, according to the comrade leader, that in your words you would have beaten Lawrence Rowe. Do you think that's why they've switched him for Steve McGregor?
I cannot speak for the PNP, and what they have picked up. I know what I am doing, and I know we are performing, and I know that our performance is being seen and respected by the residents. We have repaired a record number of roads in the constituency. We have removed a record number of poor drainage, repair V drains.
But reason with me, Donovan Williams, reason with me, man. Would the PNP remove a man that would have beaten you? No.
Well, I cannot, to be frank with you, I find it strange. I cannot speak to the motivation of the other side. It could be a reasonable, one could reasonably infer, and it is left for inference that, maybe, Williams is performing well, and, the other side recognizes it and wanted a big challenge. But I think Mr. Rowe would have posed a challenge, but he would have been beaten, but he would have posed a challenge. He's a good representative. I can't speak to the motivation. I don't want to get into the motivation of the other side. I am seeking to focus on developing continuing to develop the constituency, be there for the people, represent the people, and the people will reward us.
The No Labour Right, Donovan Williams, has done more than one term in Central Kingston, correct?
If my memory serves me correct.
Central Kingston is one of the original constituencies from 1944. So Prixley, the Labour Right, won it the first time it was contested in 44. Then you had to go far forward to 93 for Babsy Grange, who did one term there. Many people would not remember that. And then you in 2020, but No Labour Right has done more than one term. Wilzo Isaacs, the PNP legend, Sir Florizel Glasspool, Michael Manley, the huge names from the PNP who've dominated in that seat. And of course, Ronnie Thwaites, Victor Cummings served as well. But No Labour Right has done more than a term. And if you go back, and every indicator is that you will be facing history. Yeah? To be the first Labour Right to do more than one term in Central Kingston. And you're saying that whomever comes, you ready?
Ready. We have always been making history throughout my life. History. I'm ready for it.
I hear you. Thank you for this morning. Stopping by, Donovan Williams. All the best.
Thank you very much.
Donovan Williams, there, the Member of Parliament for Central Kingston, says he's concerned by a shooting in the constituency on Sunday after a period of relative calm. He says he hopes it's not the start of the kind of incidents that have caused Central Kingston to be volatile in recent times. He says it happened on Wild Street. The men were in the vicinity of Hero Circle and they fired shots down there. And he says that the concern has dissipated and people are hoping that it's not the start of more foolishness. Yeah? Across Jamaica after these. Front Page was brought to you today by ABC Electrical Sales. For a better choice in the electrical business.
JCAP, respect the music, respect the creators, play by the rules. The time by JCAP is
8:01.
Success, powered by learning. The temperature, brought to you by Sandals Corporate University. Come grow with us is
25 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 25 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 20 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
From the mountainside to seaside, countryside to townside, inside and outside, it's across Jamaica this morning.
In Across Jamaica this Tuesday morning, Tegwin House, a special unit at the Jamaica National Children's Home, has been selected as the beneficiary of the 45th staging of the National Leadership Prayer Breakfast. The event is scheduled for this Thursday, January 16 at 7:30 a.m. at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel. Tegwin House provides 24-hour care for children with severe mental and physical disabilities. Chairman of the NLBP committee, Reverend Sam McCook, says the facility represents a critical area of need in our society. He says it was selected as beneficiary as the church is committed to playing a meaningful role in the care and development of Jamaica's children. The National Leadership Prayer Breakfast was first staged in 1981. It was adopted as a means of fostering fellowship and spiritual reflection among Jamaica's leaders. This year, the breakfast seeks to inspire greater national responsibility and engagement with those most in need. The Ministries of Health and Education are planning a career expo and employment fair on January 22 and 23. The event is set for the University of the West Indies, Mona, under the theme, A Career in Health, Roadmap to Success. The two-day event will showcase the range of careers in the public health sector, while affording members of the public the opportunity to access vacancies island-wide. The ministry says the event is a response to prevailing challenges to human resources for health, including the limited availability of professionals for some specialist areas, migration, and competition from overseas recruiters. Minister of Health Dr. Christopher Tufton, says that the event is designed to overcome existing gaps in human resources for health. The Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining has earmarked $6 billion to be spent over the next 6 years to revitalize the agricultural sector. This is through a redevelopment program at the Bodles Agricultural Research Station in St. Catherine. Portfolio Minister Floyd Green told journalists that the initiative will modernize the facility to meet world-class standards. At the heart of the project is the construction of a new state-of-the-art piggery to enable advanced genetic research on pig breeds with a view to further bolstering the country's pork industry. He says we want to take on the Caribbean region in terms of export in a very big way, more so in value-added processing such as sausages and bacon, as well as trying to supply the hotel industry. Green's comments followed a tour of the Pan-Caribbean Sugar Company Froome factory in Westmoreland on January 8. And that's it for Across Jamaica for this Tuesday morning.
Get better paying jobs overseas and locally with City and Guilds International Skills Certificates at IIRQ Academy. In 2 to 3 months, get qualified in welding, fabrication and pipework, carpentry, construction, painting and decoration, and plant maintenance. No subjects required, no age limits, no entrance test. Register this week and get 2 subjects for free. Online face-to-face evening and Saturday classes begin very soon. Starting soon at IIRQ, 9 to 18 months, advanced diplomas and associate degrees in motor vehicle repairs, electrical and electronic engineering, and logistics supply chain management. Call us at 876-322-4029. Visit us at 32 Hope Road, Kingston, 1 Perry Road, Montego Bay.
Registration is now open for Sagicor Sigma Run 2025. Register now and get ready to run, walk and wheel for a cause. Our beneficiaries are Sir John Golding Rehabilitation Center, Father Holang and Friends Foundation, and the Kingston Public Hospital. Be a part of Sagicor Sigma Run 2025. Make sure you're there on February 16 for the Caribbean's biggest road race. Visit SagicorSigmaRun.com and register now. Sponsored by Walden, Pan Jam, National Baking Company, Reggae Marathon, Catherine's Peak, Malay Media and Whistling Frog.
Are you ready to turn your sales and marketing skills into high earnings? Nationwide 90 FM is searching for business development executives to help us grow our business and build lasting client relationships. If you have experience across all stages of the sales cycle and possess strong communication, negotiation, and time management skills with a proven sales track record, this opportunity is perfect for you. Join our team and work with the top corporate brands, media agencies, and of course, our on-air personalities. Enjoy networking opportunities, professional growth, and competitive commissions. Ready to take the next step? Send your resume to hr@nationwidenewsnetwork.com today.
Are you ready for it?
Revo. Coming soon.
Welcome back to Nationwide this morning. All right, so Tony, we're gonna take some calls now.
Yeah, our number is 630-9371, 630-9372, 630-9373, 630-9374, or Digicel line 618-8255.
You know, I just was having a conversation with Emily. So I say, my boy them stitch up your boy them Sunday at the football. she said she had pull out the stitches them this morning.
Oh my goodness! Wait, who did Manu play?
Arsenal. Man.
Oh, right.
I beat them up, man.
Right.
Beat them up. So when I went to Waterhouse on Sunday. I was telling you I went to Waterhouse to do some Premier League games on Sunday. So yeah, man, enough people in the place, and the place packed and thing. Waterhouse played Tivoli. So I was walking to the commentary point now. So people them see me in my jersey, man. So someone I card me now, you know. I card me now. So a man said to me say, so Monday morning when you go on Nationwide, you go wear one next Man U jersey like when you did wear the Man U jersey after to beat Liverpool. Me say, no. Him say why? Me say no, Arsenal beat on the big side.
Oh my days. No.
Me say when Liverpool me beat our City now, then would I wear it? But me don't need for it. Arsenal. I don't know big side.
The savage. Anybody in here is an Arsenal fan?
No for them Wayne Walker, man.
Wayne is Arsenal? Why did I think it was Liverpool?
I see him. So I was driving out to Gunners fan. So I was driving out towards the game. So I saw him on the boulevard. I'm cut cross him.
Oh my goodness.
I'm now paying the money. Yeah, man, you feel bad now because the game they just done it. I say,
oh
man.
Oh my gosh. It's soaking
it has soaked. Anyway, J.E.'s online. Morning, J.E.
Good morning, George. And what is Tana? It's I-Tana or Tana?
Not I-Tana, it's just Tana.
Tana, okay, all right.
Good morning.
Just to, I'm open. Market is listening. I want to say to Mark Golden that you spit in the sky, it's all in your eyes. And don't trouble God's children. That's all I have to say.
All right. All right, Mom. Thank you this morning.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Keisha?
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Tana. Morning. Hi, George.
Morning, Keisha.
George, it's the first time I'm talking to you since New Year, right?
Yeah, man. Happy New Year, man.
Yeah, man. And same to Tana, too.
Happy New Year to you as well, Keisha.
Yeah, man. Wishing you guys all the best for the new year and for the other years to come, you know?
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Well, George, me sit down and me listen to what go on with the PNP. But, George, let me tell you something, you know. I went back to Damian voice note. Do you remember that league voice note?
Which one?
The one where he was discussing with two ladies the future of the party, and in one bit of it, he said that Mark can cut it. They need an Andrew. You don't know the voice note? They just
yeah, man. I remember.
So, listen. Mark had to win this election. It is a must win for him in order for him to survive, you know. Mm-hmm. Because remember, in a judge, every opposition will put out themselves has won except for Peter Phillips, right?
Yes.
Am I not correct?
The opposition leaders, yes.
Right. So for Andrew now got trust Mark, that is like a record. That's like a record breaking. Mm-hmm. Two opposition. None of them no form government, right? Mm-hmm. So it's win at any and all cost with him. Mm-hmm. So I believe, Mr. Rowe, this is a wishy-washy statement what they put out. That's what they do at all times, you know, when they find their back against the wall, they tend to put out these little flimsy statements, and I don't know who them think them can trick. I know that well-thinking and smart Jamaicans, they're taking notes. Mm-hmm. But, George, let me tell you, I'm happy when these things happen, you know, because we get to know them better. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You understand? Mm-hmm. So many things. George, why... If so for instance, they did an internal poll, right? And in the internal poll, it's not looking the favorability, it's saying something that Mr. Rowe does not have that, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, It would have happened elsewhere where you'd ask the person to excuse themselves because the poll is not working in their favor, right?
Yes.
But why did such demands asked and granted?
Yeah, well, and that's a question that only the PNP can answer. What of Mr. Rowe's value to the extent that these things were put on the table?
Position, Judge.
Yeah.
So if he doesn't fit to represent the people in a Central Kingston, why are you gonna put him in a Senate?
Yeah.
That means that's what the PNP them they just creep. No wonder why they just creep up Norman and fling him there. You understand? So it's like for them, he just creep up anything and fling it in it. And Judge, let me tell you something. I have a thinking in my head. I believe that, and it goes for both sides, both PNP Labour. Anybody that you bring to the public and the public reject them, they should never have a seat in the Senate.
Yeah.
I don't believe that reject should have no seat in the Senate.
But you see, but Keisha, that's your point. And I respect that. But it's a difficult thing, because you have some people whose circumstances conspire to cause them to lose their seat. But they are so valuable to the party and the party's mission, and there are still people able to contribute that a place in the Senate is not undeserved. So I have a slightly different view. I also have a different view to most people, Keisha, on this point of a leader picking whoever goes forward to represent their party in the election. I believe that the leader will have a significant say as to who is indeed picked. Even if you have a mechanism like a national campaign committee like the PNP does, the JLP has their own internal mechanism, but I still think that a party leader should wield that kind of power. I don't believe in every decision in this country being made by a committee, because a committee has people ultimately, and you're saying that, well, the wisdom of the collective is better than the wisdom of many, but I still believe that a party leader should have that right. And if the PNP went in and they found out that Rowe was weak, they should communicate that to the people so the people can know, so this is the reason. But as it is now, it's shrouded in all kind of mystery. And what people see is evidence that Lawrence Rowe has put in work. And they then can't reconcile this decision to push him out at this time when he would have been in there doing the legwork, when other people would have been absent, perhaps waiting until this point to move in and to build on what he is establishing or has established. But it is there are so many questions because the PNP must answer the same point that I made and the same point that you raised just now, Keisha. If him not good enough for Central Kingston, how is it that him good enough for Jamaica in the Senate?
I don't know. They had a question to answer before I run, Judge. You see, I can't understand for some person who are trying to run again, right? They have been in a seat and they would have won the seat probably 3 times, 2 times, how many times? And they can't go back, go face the people. Like, for instance, Peter Bunting, that means that he wasn't doing a good job. Wickham McNeil, he wasn't doing a good job. If you guys were doing a good job, you couldn't go back to the people. Never did a good job. It can't be judged that you've been a member of parliament for so many years, and at the end of the day, you're afraid, or not afraid, you're afraid to go face the people then. It simply means that your job that you were doing was not effective.
Well, Keisha, you can have a woman for a long time, and you're on her go on, and then you're on her mash up, and then you look on her again, and she, all of the old memories come flooding back, and you go back there, and she know have nothing to do with you. So you know what you do? You say, boy, I'm gonna look at a new girl.
Yeah, I am saying that when you're a member of parliament and you serve,
you make a good point, man. I'm just troubling you.
Yeah, for over so many years,
you suppose you can go back to your yard, go back to your place, go win again.
Of course,
yes.
Because guess what? There will be work that you have done where you could have championed and say, I did this and I did that.
But just the same, Keisha, politics is about strategy and winning. Nobody's putting resources in a race that they won't win. And if you notice, if it is that you look at your old stomping ground, and you may have some difficulties and some challenges there, and then there are other opportunities which give you a better chance of going to the parliament, then you're going to take that easy opportunity.
And Judge, you see,
human nature.
I'm a barnyard, a yard, me barn down this. Judge, the Campbell can't win. We don't want him there. I'm a barn place, and it's my barn, a yard. You understand? Him now win down there, you mad, Judge?
Well, the PNP says the polls have them up in key places. So
in 2020, and when they asked of the poll, them say them know, so them never did ever win, but them have to motivate them base. So we know them chicken everything with them come with. That's a poll that's nothing.
All right,
Later,
Keisha.
George.
Thank you this
Let them
morning.
go, let you know.
All right, cool. We finished, Mr. King? We have one
Lenny?
more? Oh.
Hi, morning.
Or Lenroy? Good morning.
Yeah, George.
Morning, sir.
George. You know what? Tell me something. This gentleman, Delroy Williams, was he the mayor of Kingston?
No, that's the senator. That's his brother. So Donovan, who you heard this morning, is the brother of the man you mentioned just now.
Oh, Donovan is a brother.
Yes, sir.
Oh, he was not a part of the KCMC.
No, sir.
Oh, I see. Because, you know, I was a little bit taken aback when he said anybody that the PNP puts there, he will win.
Oh.
You know?
No, it's
And
not the mayor. Not the former
I don't understand some of these politicians, you know, George.
mayor.
Right? Because they're dancing to their own music. You know?
Politics is a confidence game. You know, you have to almost blind yourself to certain things and remain upbeat so you can transmit that upbeat messages to the people who are around you, people who are working with you. Otherwise, you're doomed. So I can understand it from that perspective.
Well, that's a good perspective you possibly could understand it from, but based on what I've seen in this country since 1978, 79, when I started become very active in the affairs of this country, taking quite note of the political process. You know, what I've seen here is that the People's National Party, they have a very, very great way of spinning things. They are professional spinners. And their professionalism in spinning things to suit their own narrative has gone down well with the people who they try to what I say, glorify as being poor. They love the poor. So
That's your experience. That's your experience, your perspective and your experience.
Right,
Yes.
because the PNP loves the poor, but they have not tried to uplift the poor in a way that they can educate themselves to remove the poverty-stricken situations which they have found themselves in at times.
And you don't think both sides spin?
Most naturally, both sides spin, and they spin, you know, more than 360 degrees, if I would say so, you know. But I think, again, you know, what the PNP has done now regarding this Lawrence Rowe affair,
yes,
you know, is to come to tell us now that they will respond in their own time,
Yes.
not taking into consideration.
It's
that
one of the most
people
arrogant statements I've seen in a long time, and I'm very slow to call people arrogant.
Exactly.
Yeah,
because, you know, when I see this, I'm saying to myself, is this the type of party led by a man called Golding that wants to be prime minister of this country? Will the Jamaican electorate elect the People's National Party to govern this country again?
Well, it's the free will of voters to pick the team that they believe is best suited or better suited. Well, best because there were more than two runners
And
to
here again,
lead
you
the
know,
country.
What really irks me now, George, is the fact that this integrity commission and these other bodies which, you know, behave so holy and mighty, they don't come out and see anything wrong with these statements that the PNP are putting out.
Yeah, well, I'm waiting for the statements to come.
People.
I'm waiting for the statements to come.
I'm trying to hear Janet Calder or whatever Calder she named.
Not whatever Calder, Jeanette Calder.
Right, and
Jeanette,
I just cannot hear her any at all on any issues like these, right? You're talking about transparency, you're talking about corruption, right? And Mark Golding goes around this country, and on every political platform that he gets the opportunity to go on, he lambasts, you know, the Prime Minister in a personal way, right? Instead of telling the people what plans you have for the country, what you can do better than what this government is doing, you know. And I don't understand what's really happening with the People's National Party.
Wait. I hear you this morning. I'm out of time. The producer says I have to go into another segment. But thank you for the perspective this morning.
Okay, George. Great day. I'll call Cliff later on.
Yeah, man. Thank you very much. You know, somebody said that the PNP, they use a cricket analogy, Tana. They said that because of this issue with Lawrence Road, the wicket is very wet. So the PNP is waiting on the wicket to dry out because a wet wicket won't take spin. So for those who understand the cricket, it's a hell of an analogy to draw. Yeah, I don't know, but I just think that we deserve better, and you can't, in the face of this, say in your statement, the PNP will. Let me read the line again, Tan, because I find it unbelievable. The matter will be addressed at a time convenient to the party. The PNP conducting itself on this issue like it is in charge of state power, and it can answer when it feel like and how it feel like and if it feel like. When it's convenient, we'll address these matters. What a condition.
Apply for your NHD refunds at nhd.gov.jm or via the NHD app. Do not click on any links offering to help you. The time by the NHD is
8:24.
Fontana Pharmacy has a wide variety of items from pharmaceuticals, household, cosmetics, toys, and more. The temperature by Fontana Pharmacy, it's all good inside, is
26 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 28 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 20 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
Data Protection Matters is brought to you by Design Privacy. We help you comply and build trust.
Welcome to another episode of Data Protection Matters, powered by Design Privacy. For the next 2 months, we'll be breaking down the data protection impact assessment process into manageable steps. So recently, we conducted a survey and asked you about your biggest challenges with data protection impact assessments, and you answered loud and clear. The number one challenge, lack of internal expertise and resources. If it is you find yourself in that situation, today you are in the right place. Conducting a data protection impact assessment might seem overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be. There are several key steps to the DPIA process. Number 1, mapping your processing activities. 2, identifying and assessing risks. 3, determining appropriate controls. 4, preparing a comprehensive DPIA report. Each of these steps build on the last, and over the next few weeks we'll focus on one step at a time. Today we're starting with the foundation, mapping your data processing activities. Why start here? If you don't know how your data moves through your organization, meeting compliance requirements becomes a guessing game, literally a guessing game, and nobody wants that. I hope by the end of today's episode you'll have an actionable strategy to simplify this first step. All right, let's get into it. So what we have found over the past 4 years, that there are some basic challenges we have to overcome. The first challenge is that data in an organization often sits in different silos. It is scattered across various departments and no one has the full picture. Then there's a lack of clarity. Teams are not even sure what qualifies as personal data or how it flows through their systems. And finally, we layer on top of that the compliance pressure. Without a clear map, it is to me easy to miss this March 31 deadline. And unfortunately, that could mean penalties or reputational damage. These challenges, we understand, are real, but they're also solvable. All right, so now, today, let's see if we can turn these challenges really into opportunities for one, clarity, efficiency, and an opportunity to build trust. All right, you heard me use the word opportunity. Here's the good news. Mapping your data processing activities really isn't just about compliance. It's actually a chance to improve your organization as a whole. When you map your data flows, you do a number of things. You are able to identify inefficiencies, spot redundant processes, and streamline operations, enhance compliance, lay the groundwork for DPIAs and other regulatory requirements, and 3, build trust. You can show your customers, regulators, and stakeholders that you take data protection seriously. Think of it like creating a roadmap for your data ecosystem. With this roadmap, you can confidently navigate compliance and even unlock opportunities for innovation. Let me share a real-world example of how this process worked for another organization, and I'm sure that in the same manner it could work for you. Some time ago, we worked with a mid-sized company overwhelmed by the idea of mapping their data processing activities. Their challenges might sound familiar to you. First challenge was, as I mentioned, data was scattered across several systems with no centralized documentation. Key stakeholders couldn't agree on definitions of personal data before they engaged us as experts. All the departments worked in silos, creating inefficiencies and a lot of redundancies. Here is how we helped. We introduced a standardized vocabulary for personal data and business purposes, aligned with the OIC regulatory guidelines. We used a structured template. We helped them list all their data processing activities and document the flow of data. Finally, we created a visual map to show how the data moved across the organization. The result? They were not only able to complete the exercise, but they also uncovered ways to streamline their operations, which eventually led to them saving time and reducing costs. The best part? The same approach can work for you, and I'm here today to show you how. We have created an actionable framework, so please, I'm going to invite you to listen carefully. Let's break this process down into 3 clear steps. First activity: identify your data processing activities and personal data items. Work with all your departments to list every process involving personal data, such as recruitment, marketing, or payroll. Document specific data items like names, emails, and financial information. Step 2, define purpose, scope, and context. For each process, ask purpose: why is this data being processed? What's the type and volume of data? Who's handling it and under what conditions? Step 3, map physical or digital assets. Identify all assets that either store, share, or delete personal data. We're thinking about things like servers, cloud platforms, laptops, and paper records. Don't forget transfer mechanism like APIs or email. Follow these steps and you'll gain a clear view of your data landscape, making this aspect manageable and eventually boost your efficiency. Up next, we'll wrap up with a quick recap and your next steps. Before we close, let's look at some trends. More organizations are turning to automation tools for data mapping. Why? These tools reduce manual effort, save time, and minimize errors, giving you more confidence in your compliance efforts. So let's recap what we went over today. We spoke about mapping your data processing activities, the first and most foundational step in the data protection impact assessment process. It helps you identify inefficiencies, enhance compliance, and build trust. You can start by listing activities, defining purpose and scope, and mapping your assets. Guys, now it's time to get the job done. March 31 is fast approaching. Don't forget to, if you think you need help to get this done or how to do it, don't forget to register for our webinar on Thursday of this week at 3 p.m. We have had a number of persons registered, so we only have 10 seats available. So go to our website at www.designprivacy.io and register for the upcoming webinar where we will walk you through the complete process of how to complete a data protection impact assessment, and on registering, we will provide you a template that you can use for yourselves. So before we wrap, David just told me that I have 1 minute extra, and never tell a lawyer you have more time. I don't know how many of you read the Sunday paper. It does give us an opportunity to understand the impact of a data protection impact assessment. But forget about the Sunday paper. Did we all hear that Meta was fined 400 million euros? And part of it, they were fined 45 million euros for not having conducted a data protection impact assessment. The regulator found that they didn't even address their mind to the risk that data subjects are faced to. A DPIA is more than just meeting your compliance obligation. It really demonstrates that you respect your data subjects and how you process your personal data. And I just got the final wrap. So looking forward to speaking with you on Thursday.
Data Protection Matters was brought to you by Design Privacy. We help you comply and build trust.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
8:34.
For over 30 years, Chris and Charles has been financing your goals, dreams, creating your great moments. Celebrate the occasion with us. Borrow $1 million, pay less than $25,000 monthly, and get 30% off your processing fees. No guarantor needed. Call 876-920-4189 or WhatsApp 876-838-9028. Conditions apply. When you think loans, think Chris and Charles.
Plug into the sun with Peak Energy Solutions. We are your affordable provider for everything solar. Grid tie or off-grid solar P systems, solar air conditioners, panels, lithium batteries, solar supplies, and installation. Visit us at Shop 1, 3 Mosquito Valley Road, Red Hills, St. Andrew. Call 876-279-8820 or 944-0668. Or email us at peakenergysolutionsja@gmail.com. Peak Energy for everything solar.
A Healthier You is brought to you by Express Fitness. Your goal or mission, Horton's Pharmacy, a family tradition of dispensing and caring for 100 years.
And Pharma Cold and Flu, distributed by Massey Distribution.
That time of a Tuesday morning, it's time for A Healthier You. And in our monthly check with our friends from Horton's Pharmacy for A Healthier You, we're being joined by the chief pharmacist, no stranger to NTM, Stafford Horton. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Tona. Good morning to your listeners and your viewers on YouTube.
Thank you so much for joining us here on Nationwide 90 FM Stafford. So before going into the RX Pack mobile app, I'll be seeking an update on it, how it's been going since the launch of it last year. Just to ask you how you rounded out the year at Horton's Pharmacy.
Oh, in a very positive way, Tona, very positive way. This RX Pack mobile app, we launched it at the end of February last year. And up to this moment, we're almost at 200 subscribers, and it's growing day by day. We have reached out all across Jamaica to all the parishes, and we have subscribers, international subscribers from London in the UK, from Toronto in Canada, from Houston in Texas, from Miami in Florida, from Atlanta in Georgia, and from the Cayman Islands.
Do you find that it's more people in the diaspora than people here at home in Jamaica that are subscribing to?
No, it's more people locally, locally. But the diaspora people are helping relatives here in Jamaica, and so they're on regularly. Every month they're on, sending their funds into the RX Pack digital wallet.
Yes.
And that's one of the benefits of the RX Pack mobile app. It has a digital wallet where you can deposit your money and then pay for your prescriptions or over-the-counter medicines through the wallet. And for every $1,000 you put in the wallet, Horton's Pharmacy gives you 20%. So for every $1,000, you get $200.
Wow. Yeah. So talk to me at Stafford about how persons go about using the app, what they can find on it, how they use it, all of that.
Okay, so when you, first of all, the app is easily available in the App Store or the Google Play Store. And it's RXPAK. And you click on that and you can download it on your telephone or on your whatever device you have in your possession. Then it tells you what you can do. You can upload your prescription. In other words, you take a photograph of the prescription and upload it on the app, and we will see the prescription. You can indicate whether you want all the prescription or you want a part of the prescription. Right? You can indicate how much money you want to spend after you give it a quotation. If we say it's $5,000, then you say, no, we don't have 5,000, we have 4,000. We can cut it down and give you a smaller amount to meet the amount you want to spend. You can not only pay through the digital wallet, you can pay via your credit card, and this is all online, and it's all safe and secure, totally secure. No fraud is enabled on the app. It is totally protected by the designers of the app.
So those in the diaspora, then, do you find that those in the diaspora, going back to an earlier point you made, are filling the prescriptions of their family members who are living out here?
Yes, certainly. That's mostly what they're doing. So then also online are the items, over-the-counter items that you can purchase in the pharmacy.
Yes.
And the prices are all there, and the photographs of the products are all online. You can look at what you're buying, the size you're buying, the size of the tube or the cream, or the bottle of lotion, or the bottle of syrup, or the tablets in the pack. And it's all there with the photographs, and the prices are all there in Jamaican dollars.
So you just fill up your basket online in the RX Pack app and then check out, and then persons can have to visit the location to pick up what they ordered, or
they can visit the location we're located at 29 to 31 Caledonia Road in Mandeville. It's shop number 1, and they can pick it up in the store. We can have a curbside delivery, or we can have a delivery by mobile to your location. And of course,
is this limited to Manchester or Mandeville, or this is island-wide?
All over the island. We deliver island-wide. All parishes, we deliver island-wide. And for the overseas persons, it goes via the Jamaica Post or DHL or FedEx, depending on what the person wants it by.
So it's a RX Pack mobile app. That's RXPAK.
PAK, correct.
Right, that you can find in the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. You download it, set it up, and you're able to fill your prescriptions from the app or purchase other over-the-counter drugs or other items in Horton's Pharmacy. And if it is that you're in country or outside of country, as Stafford is saying, your items could be delivered to you as well.
Certainly.
Any other updates you want to provide us with, Stafford, in relation to the pharmacy?
Well, we one more thing about the app for the overseas deliveries. We are working with a new company now to get it to you. Usually it took about almost between 7 and 14 days to get to the person.
Yeah.
Now we have found a supplier of delivery who can get it to the USA in less than 7 days. The last time we did it, the person got it within 4 days. So we're going to be advertising that more in more detail when we have worked out the full details of it. But the first couple of tries, it has worked very well, and we're just fine-tuning it.
Yes.
And more details will come in later discussions.
Right. Any
Regarding
other?
the pharmacy, we open Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Our telephone number is an easy-to-remember number. It's 876-790-7979. And that's 876-RX0RXRX. Easy-to-remember number. And it's online 24/7. So even when the pharmacy is closed, the service is open to persons who want to get in using the app.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And the outlook for 2025, Stafford?
Oh, it's a very positive one.
Mm-hmm.
We're working on improving our delivery service using our drone, and we just getting the new approval from the Civil Aviation Authority, because you have to have approval from Civil Aviation to fly drones in Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
So that's also another feature of our service, our drone delivery, which is going to be easy to use and much faster than going by road. So as soon as we have finalized with Civil Aviation, you'll be hearing more about the drone delivery service also.
Okay, but that's to come this year.
This year, definitely, 2025.
Okay.
Before the middle of the year.
Yeah. And just to remind us as well before we let you go, with what you're trying to do with the drone delivery, it would be for just the town center? Or you're thinking of...
We're getting a drone that can go island wide.
Island wide?
Yes. But the technology in drones are really, really sophisticated. Really, really sophisticated.
Wow.
And this is going to revolutionize delivery in this country.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing that, Stafford. So
Okay.
I hope in this quarter of the year that the Civil Aviation Authority will be able to sign off on what you have presented on the table to them in relation to your drone delivery, and we can see that operationalized.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Something to look forward to for 2025.
Indeed. Stafford Houghton, Chief Pharmacist at Houghton's Pharmacy, talking to us this morning about the RX Pack mobile app, as well as the outlook for 2025 for the pharmacy. Thank you so much, Stafford.
Okay, Donna, have a wonderful day.
You too.
Everyone at Nationwide.
All right.
And all our listeners, thank you.
You're welcome. That's it for A Healthier You. Going to take a break and come back with our birthdays.
A Healthier You was brought to you by Express Fitness. Your goal or mission. Houghton's Pharmacy, a family tradition of dispensing and caring for 100 years.
And Pharma Cold and Flu, distributed by Massey Distribution.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
8:46.
The Birthday Club is brought to you by Burger King, the best tasting burger under the sun.
If I had to live my life without you near me, the days would all be empty. The nights would seem so long. With you I see forever oh so clearly. I might have been in love before, but it never felt this strong. Our dreams are young and we both know they'll take us where we want to go. Hold me now, touch me now. I don't want to live without you. Nothing's gonna change my love for you. You ought to know by now how much I easy. Our love will lead the way for us, like a guiding star. I'll be there for you if you should need me. You don't have to change a thing. I love you just the way you are. So come with me and share the view. I'll help you see forever too. Hold me now, touch me now. I don't want to live without you. Nothing's gonna change my love for you.
You ought to know by now how much I love you.
One thing you can.
That time of the morning when we tell some very special people happy birthday and happy anniversary. Happy birthday greetings going out to Leader of Opposition Business in the House and veteran MP for East Kingston and Port Royal, Philip Polwell, celebrating his birthday today. Happy birthday to you. Wishing for you an amazing one.
You've ever been to a Polwell birthday party?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, man, it's a thing, man.
It's a vibe.
Yeah, man, it big.
It's big.
And the thing about it is that, I mean, true parliamentarian politician who knows how to, make people feel appreciated.
Yeah.
He's one of those people. He walks around, he greets everyone.
I love that.
Yeah, man, and them man supposed to take like a 2,000 picture in a birthday party.
That's how it's supposed
yeah,
to be.
man, he walk around, everybody shake and glad you're here, and
Yes.
work.
Yes.
I said work the room is bigger than a room. Work the space.
I love that. I love that.
Happy birthday, Philip Polwell.
Happy birthday to you. Here's another. This one says, happy birthday greetings going out to my dad, Llewellyn Smiley. He's celebrating his birthday today. Greetings coming from his wife, children, grandchildren, and son-in-law. We wish for him long life and continued good health. So happy birthday to you, Llewellyn Smiley. Happy birthday greetings as well going out to Kevin Riley over there at JSIF. Happy birthday to you, Kevin. Hope you have a good one as well. Over on Facebook, happy birthday to Trisha J. Ferguson, Jodianne Watson, Mishi Richards, Jason O'Neill Grant. It's your birthday. I'm hearing that you are a Calabar old boy. Happy birthday to you. Big up yourself. Hope you have a good one. Happy birthday greetings also going out to, this one says, my loving sister, Claudette Anderson in Westmoreland. Happy birthday to you, Claudette. Greetings coming from your sister Paula and the family. And happy birthday greetings going out to Colleen Sinclair, the Minister of Finance. Happy birthday to you, Colleen. Greetings coming from your loving family. Over on YouTube, who is celebrating a birthday today. Let's see. Bragg Robinson says, today's my birthday. Want to wish myself a happy birthday. So Bragg Robinson, it's your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Hope you have a good one. Who else is celebrating a birthday today? Katie Buelo says, happy birthday to my baby girl Sky. Enjoy your day. Mommy and daddy loves you so much. So Sky, happy birthday to you. Coming from mom and dad.
Happy birthday, Sky. Did they say how old? Did KTB say how old Sky is?
No, I'm not saying that.
Right.
Yeah. Well, happy birthday, Sky. Any other birthdays? Jackie Little One is sending happy birthday greetings to my grandma Shana. Your grandma named Shana? Coming from, what is your granddaughter Jada. They're saying love you loads, God's richest blessing. This must be a grandma.
No.
Glamorous grandma.
Yeah, one of those grandma.
Shana?
You can't call her grandma. It's Nana.
Nana.
And they say Nana. Don't call me the grandma.
Yeah.
Nana.
Yeah.
You know that.
Shana.
My friend again, Lance Whitaker. I talk about Lance a lot. Lance says when he gets his grandchild and he has a grandson, you say granny can't call me the grandpa. If you call me uncle, or just call me Lance. You hold me up about grandpa. No.
But the younger grandfathers like to hear granddad.
No, man,
they
me
don't
wanna
like
hear
to
granddad. No. I'll pass. Call me George.
George, no man. Granddad is a vibe. Grandpa sounds real old.
Tana, when
But
you get there,
granddad?
and I'm gonna call you grandma. No.
Well.
Well.
Glamour.
Nana.
Glamorous grandma. And Diane Dobb is sending happy anniversary greetings to... Oh, so it's your anniversary, Diana. So happy anniversary to Diana Dobson, Shaw, and Patrick Shaw. So the Shaws are celebrating their anniversary today. Happy anniversary to them. Arlene Rose sending belated happy birthday blessing. She says to my grandson, Jaden in Queens, New York. Celebrated his birthday yesterday. And Arlene says, you had a great time at that place in Long Island. Sorry, I'm still in Jamaica. I missed it. But I'm sure you'll get back and have some belated, delayed celebrations with your grandson. So belated birthday greetings to him. And Kurt Buchanan sending happy birthday greetings. He says to my fellow January born. Oh, so I must send happy birthday to everybody born in January. All right, Kirk. And that seems to be all the birthdays. Yes. Erica Smith sending happy birthday. She says to my brother Ryan White, celebrating his birthday today. Love you. So happy birthday to you. Those are all the birthdays. So if you're celebrating your birthday today, happy birthday to you. If it's your anniversary, happy anniversary to you as well.
One thing you can be sure of, I'll never ask for more than your love. Nothing's gonna change my love.
The Birthday Club was brought to you by Burger King, the best tasting burger under the sun.
Just smile for me and let the day begin. You are the sunshine that lights my heart within. And I'm sure that you're an angel in disguise. Come take my hand and together we will ride on the wings of love.
May I send belated happy birthday greetings to Susan Brooks. Susan Brooks. Susan Brooks. Susan Brooks. Mrs. Susan Brooks. You know, I missed your little thing, but I sent your husband evidence to prove that I would be working, I'd be talking. So I know you enjoyed the day, and I know that the gentleman in your life made you feel as special as you are. All right, so Mrs. Susan Brooks, belated happy birthday greetings going out to you.
Belated birthday greetings to you, Sue. Yeah, no doubt you had a good one.
Yeah, man.
Shines Law Boss saying, I didn't read his birthday. If you could drop it back real quick so that we can give that special person a shout out before we go. And Carol Allen sending happy birthday to her cousin Vivette. Happy birthday to you. So Shines Law Boss, waiting on that final birthday before we wrap the show. Slash King sending happy anniversary greetings to Safe and Marie Scott from Kalisha Noble and the rest of the family. So happy anniversary, special anniversary greetings to the Scotts, Safe and Maurice.
The wings of love. Yes, you belong to me.
Here it is now. Shines Law Boss sending happy birthday greetings to niece Dr. Cadian Origo, is it? At the Bustamante Hospital for Children. So happy birthday to you, Cadian, from your uncle Shines Law Boss here on YouTube. Hope you have a really good day. And Ines I. Campbell sending happy birthday to brother-in-law Gary Murray. And Slash King sending happy birthday to niece Rashina Bennett from your auntie Kalisha Noble. Those are all of the birthdays now and the anniversaries. And that's about it for the show. Thank you so much for tuning in to Nationwide this morning, NTM. Thanks so much to our technical operator, Jermaine King, our super producer, Michelle McCray Smith, and our super editor, Kimon Thompson. Up next, the Consumer Hour, and at 10, Cliff Hughes Online.
So who hosting Consumer Hour?
That's why I never said Norgay once. I was waiting to give the peeps a surprise.
Sure.
But yeah. Consumer Hour, I'll be hosting Consumer Hour. Nora is out ill, so hope you feel better, Nora, and hope you can be back in your chair tomorrow.
You've just heard Nationwide this morning on Nationwide 90 FM.
Fearless and fair. Nationwide 90 FM.
JIS Radio presents Roundabout JA, a 5-minute feature on local news, ideas, people, places, and things. Roundabout JA.
Find out who's asking you to keep an eye on safety. I'm Joy Kelly. Let's go Roundabout JA.
The Jamaica Defense